Hello, everybody, fellow followers. Welcome back to the Physical Media Show. I have Tom and Runner with me tonight. Hey, we're starting a little early tonight. How about that? We actually we weren't running behind. So, hell, everybody, and in the chat, HVP, Bryant Barth, and yeah, that's at the moment. So, welcome, guys. Yes. Oh, hi.
Oh, I'm eating peanut butter cookies now, and I just opened my mouth. Fuck me.
What up, Stephen Luther? Welcome, man. Hey, we started early tonight for everybody.
That's gonna get that's gonna get memed to fucking.
I doubt it. No, people don't meme me. People barely interact with me.
No, I had my fucking mouth open full of peanut butter cookies.
That's funny. But welcome, Tom. You want me to run down that list? You want me to read that list?
Sure, go for it.
That we went through. So we'll go over some possible releases and releases. So let me get it brought up here real quick. I gotta bring it up. Come on, thing. Quit loading slow. So what happens. Alrighty. Hey, welcome, Tyrell72. Good evening. All right, let's talk with some possible rumor coming out. Avatar on 4K. Beverly Hills Cop 2 in May, which I did see that, and I heard that it was going to be in France, but then I also heard it was going to be everywhere. So,
well, then didn't it say that something like the UK is getting part 3 in 4K?
I think they're getting France. It's a French company is getting them first.
French, okay.
Yeah, some French company. I can't remember which one. Untouchables. I did hear is coming to 4K May 31st. Smoking Aces. That movie was. Did you like that movie?
It was all right.
It had its moments.
Never saw it.
You would probably like it, Runner. It's got a lot of people in there that you would like.
Oh, really?
Is it Ben Affleck in it?
Yeah, Ben Affleck's in it.
Yeah, Ben Affleck's in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is in it too, I think.
Ryan Reynolds and I think Jeremy Piven's in it, and Chris Pine.
Oh, that's a pretty decent cast.
Yeah, it's one of them, like, I would guess they'd try to be like Tarantino-esque type movie.
It's more like a Guy Ritchie type film.
Guy Ritchie
directed it for all I know. But yeah.
And then we got Species 1 through 4, which I did see. Blu-ray 88 Films is making that. April 25th, that says for that. Hellraiser is a possible for 4K. And I know you guys were talking about this on 4K for you earlier. Conan the Barbarian and 1 and 2 from Arrow. Was that to be on 4K?
Yeah. And again, as far as I know, we might have been one of the first outlets to put this out there, but
I believe you are because I haven't seen that anywhere until you guys talked about it.
I didn't hear it until I saw a thing on YouTube.
Not surprised. It's the 40th anniversary this year, and De Laurentiis has had a lot of his movies released through Arrow on 4K. So, being that this is a De Laurentiis title, I would not be surprised. The only thing is it's probably just going to be a US only release, I bet, like some of the other Arrow titles. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's 4K, they can ship it worldwide. So,
yes, indeed. But the whole catch is that Fox owns the rights to the movie outside of the US.
That's get you. Hello, the lovely Sherry, and welcome.
Hey, Sherry.
And then we got The Usual Suspects is coming from Kino Lorber. Panic Room. Yes, The Usual Suspects. Which I'm surprised they're, with everything still with who, they're still getting that out there. Yeah.
Depends on who you want to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then we have Panic Room, March 29th. That was 4K, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then Scream 5, which I still have yet to see, and I'll get to it eventually. I just have lost interest in it.
Yeah, we got to do that Scream.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Point.
I really do.
I recently watched the 3rd and 4th movie, actually.
They're good. The 3rd one's good, ain't it?
Yeah, I agree. The 3rd one's good. The 4th could have been good. It's just it's by far the worst of them I've seen.
5 was worse than that.
Yeah,
I bet it is, but I haven't seen 5. So
5 is just a lot of the same shit in 4.
Yeah, that's why I said as of now, that's the worst.
And 4 has the better ending on top of it all.
Oh, the ending is the best.
And there's just some redonkulous shit in the anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Moving on.
And welcome, Brightest Day. Glad to see you in the chat.
What's up, Brightest Day?
We have Breakout is coming from Keanu Lorber on Blu-ray, April 26th.
That'd be the Charles Bronson film.
Yeah, the Charles Bronson one, yes. Top Secret, which Val Kilmer, which I love that freaking movie. It's coming May 17th and from Paramount on Blu-ray. I'm looking forward to that one. I would definitely get that one. That movie is hilarious.
Yeah, people have been wanting that one for a while.
Yeah, I love the freaking Beach Boys type songs he sings and just the stupidity of that movie. Drop Dead Fred, which we talked about, I think last week.
Going from Severin over to
Vinegar.
To Vinegar Syndrome of all places. But yeah, and surprisingly, I think the only reason we're probably not getting a 4K of Drop Dead Fred is whatever Severin had ready for it. They probably just transferred it over, I'm assuming, because there was some rights issue, I guess.
Yes.
And I think they had a 2K scan, so that's probably why.
I did see a tweet by Severin saying that all the special features that they produce have been transferred over to the Blu-ray for Vinegar Syndrome. So that's where they're coming from.
Gotcha.
And good day, Anthony Draven. And Brian Barth, we'll get to your questions and stuff here in a minute after we run through these movies real quick. Drive is coming.
Quick answer is between He-Man and Conan.
Yeah.
Boobs and blood.
Yes, true. That's true.
and yes, sex.
Yes. And I did hear that he is trying to make a comeback.
Well, yeah. Anybody who said anything bad about him is dead. Oops.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Anyway, you were saying Drive.
Yes, yeah. Drive is coming to 4K from 88 Films in June. Drive. I can't.
Actually, it's coming from MVD in the US.
That's the Ryan Gosling movie.
Yeah, the Ryan Gosling film.
Yeah, that's one.
We don't have a date for the US release, but I believe that's the first 4K release for MVD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm surprised MVD got Drive.
Or did they do? Are they the ones that did True Romance?
I think Arrow did. True Romance.
You might be right. I think it was Arrow. Yeah, so this might be the first 4K from MVD, but we don't have a date yet. But I'm assuming it's going to be similar date to what we got from the 88 films from overseas. Yeah,
true. Then we get 27 coming from MVD as well. Or wait, that's June 27th. Why did I say 20? I read it wrong. My bad. Sorry, guys. Chucky season 1, April 12th. I still have yet to see that, but I've heard good things about it. What you think?
I enjoyed it. It was all right. I mean, it could have worse, could have been better. But yeah,
I've heard mostly good things. A few complaints here and there, but nothing too over the top. The Odd Couple collection is coming from Blu-ray by Imprint. No, it's Drive Mark Dacascos. Yes, I did see that. Yes, it's Mark Dacascos' Drive, not Ryan Gosling's. From earlier. I remember that. Thank you, Anthony Draven, for helping with that. And then we had the Bad News Bears Breaking Training coming from Blu-ray.
Well, the Drive does have a director's cut of the film as well, it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mark Dacascos, like you said, Dacascos. Yeah, but
Dacascos. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah,
Brittany Murphy's in it. No, yep. Yeah. But yeah, as you were saying about this, now this is an interesting group of releases here. I'll actually bring this up on the screen if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is coming from Australian company Imprint.
Yeah.
And they have just announced this Jerry Lewis at Columbia collection, which has The Big Mouth and Hook, Line, and Sinker. Then you have the Odd Couple collection, which I did order from Zabby, I think it was, or whatever. It's like $200. It has the first Odd Couple, the second Odd Couple with all the special features and stuff you see here. And then it has 10 episodes from the television series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it comes in a collectible box. Then they got the Return of the Pink Panther, which I wasn't able to find a link for, so I don't have any idea how much that's going to be. Bad News Bears Breaking Training was $89.
Wow.
And there's like no special features on it outside of a commentary and stuff. So I'm like, I might just wait on that one because I have the digital version already in HD. This is Breaking Training, by the way, not the first one.
Yeah,
this is the second one.
Yeah,
and the Return of the Pink Panther is also like the fifth one or whatever the fuck it was, or third one or whatever. And then Out of Towners is the original Jack Lemmon one that's also coming, and then we get a look at the bigger look at the Jerry Lewis one here. So so this is a pretty decent company. They put out these really cool box sets, but they are pricey because I think they're very limited. So keep that in mind.
And is the other Out of Towners out on Blu-ray? The one with Steve Martin?
I don't know if Paramount, I think, owns that one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they released it yet or not.
That wasn't a bad remake.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I like Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn. I mean, or not Goldie Hawn. Yeah, it was Goldie Hawn, right?
Yeah, it was Goldie Hawn, and it was directed by Frank Oz. Yeah,
it wasn't too bad. And then I also heard the Lighthouse, starring Willem Dafoe and Bat Sparkly Guy is coming to 4K. Pattinson, yeah. And I did hear that we will be getting a Trancers box set.
No, Trancers has already been on Blu-ray. So is this 4K or is this just standard Blu-ray?
I just think this. I'm not really sure. I think it's just a Blu-ray. This company, it's a German company called Wicked Vision. Yeah, Wicked Vision. They put out a tweet and they said, "This is how it starts. Trancers Ultimate box set coming very soon." And a picture of them working on Trancers on the computer.
Interesting.
And I said, I actually replied to their tweet and said, "Will it be available in the U.S.?" And they replied back to me and said, "It's code-free edition and we ship worldwide." So
nice, because I was going to say, I think Full Moon already has it out.
Yes, Full Moon has like the first 3 on Blu-ray. So I don't know if this is like every Trancers movie or there's the first 3.
Possibly, if I can talk.
Yeah.
So, not only that, hopefully more new special features, and maybe they're remastering it or something.
Yeah, so I mean, the guy just posted a picture of him working on the computer, so at least they're doing something to it. So
nice. That'll come into play here a little later.
Yes, and then Hail Tim Hayes, welcome.
Bitch about later, just along the slide Runner does too.
Yes, interesting. I love when you guys go on rants. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't I? Oh yeah, last week I had a pretty interesting rant.
Yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty slow week for media.
That's about it. I haven't made a coming soon Blu-ray 4K video in a week, so that tells you how slow it's been.
I haven't even like gone to I haven't gone to my Best Buy at all this week so far.
You could almost just clip what we just said there.
Yeah, I could clip that, put that up, and that'd be my video.
Throw some pictures on it or something.
Yep. There you go.
That could be a video. But yes, and well, if you guys want to pick up some,
I'm very happy to be in this video that FanZcene is probably going to clip.
I just made sure give me some. Yeah, I'll cut you out of it completely, Runner.
What a purpose.
Oh, you said sorry.
If you guys want to pick up some new titles, or they're old titles, Scream Factory and Full Moon are actually having a Valentine's Day sale.
Damn it!
Yeah, Full Moon has got 50% off a bunch of stuff, Blu-rays and DVDs.
I gotta be broke?
All that stuff, exactly. And Scream Factory has got I saw Deadly Friend, which I actually bought. It went from like $28 to $20, so I picked that up.
Oh, I got that one already, but
yeah, I did. I was waiting for the price to go down a little bit. So
I should sometime.
That's why I didn't buy it right off the bat.
Honestly, I don't think I paid that much for it. I think I paid like 21 maybe for it. I have to check.
Yeah, I paid like $20 for it. Well, $20 and some change. But they have a bunch of stuff like John Carpenter's Vampires for like $16, Silver Bullet for like $18. So they got like that stuff.
Is it the Shout? Is it the Shout version of Vampires?
Yes, it's Scream Factory, Shout Factory, same thing.
Scream Factory, yeah, same thing. I'll probably get that at some point whenever I get my next.
Oh yes, pay. And Vinegar Syndrome is having a Valentine's Day sale. Starts this Friday.
I saw that. I'm so pissed because I'm like,
I'm
broke.
I know, too. Like I'm broke and like because. I mean, like I get paid like once a week, but like most of like I need to like pay for gas. That's what I really need money for. It's like because I'm so addicted to
right?
buying
It's like,
physical media.
this shit sucks when you not have like gas and food.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, because I drive a lot because I have to drive to school and then I have to like
Whoa,
drive
wait,
to work.
wait. Your name's a lie?
Oh no, my name's not a lie. I still need a car.
Should be Driver Blaze.
Yeah, Driver Blaze, man.
I run. It's just I don't run like on the middle of the road and shit. Whenever I have to go to school or work, I don't do that. I have to actually.
Sam Blackwood, named runner, drives a lot. Well, one good thing is
I only drive when I need to. Like, for example, if I like go to like a store or something that's like close by, I can just easily run or walk.
Well, my one good thing is with all these sales, at least I don't have a significant other to buy for Valentine's Day. So
like usually like on the Best Buy like nearby, I have to like run all the way over there, and it's like 5 miles, maybe less than that.
Well, there you go. I just had to buy new eyeglasses, and now I have to buy groceries, so not buying much of anything for fun right now. Yeah, that's pretty much the case for me too. But I did buy a couple from Scream Factory, and I was supposed to have an order earlier, but it never came in, so I get it tomorrow. So,
Bummer, dude.
I bought a shit ton of John Carpenter stuff when he had that sale on his birthday.
That was a good sale.
That was a damn good sale. I was like,
if I wouldn't have had most of them, I would have.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I can't skip out on this. This is too good of a deal.
Yeah. All right. So,
and I might show a few of them today.
I got one from Shout.
I think I do. No, yeah, I do. One that runner might like. So you want to go first, Tom?
I could go first. I normally don't. Why not?
Yeah, let's start with Tom.
My first one is a Shout Factory release, and I get to bitch again because it's a Shout
Select.
Oh.
Okay, one upside. This has never been released on Blu-ray.
Okay.
So they've got that going for them. The downside is everything on here is everything that was on the previous DVD.
Summer School. I was letting pick it up.
They want way too fucking much for what you get, though. Again, another problem of Shout Select. When you can get the DVD for $4.99 brand new.
Yeah.
With all the same special features, and it's probably the same transfer from said DVD, just the HD version of it. Because, by that point, I think 2007 that came out, I think I looked. Because I have the original DVD somewhere. I couldn't find it.
Me too.
I was trying to find it for tonight so I could show it. But, so yeah, basically all it is just the same shit from that, all carried over here. Now, the transfer's decent. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's nothing to write home about. Honestly, I would say the 5.1 mix is a little hollow sounding compared to the original stereo mix. But yeah, the movie's a classic. Another one I would wait though until Shout has it on sale, because it's not worth the 20-some bucks when you can get the DVD for $4.99. And it's not like it's a major action picture to where there's an argument to be made to where like an upgrade to this is really like, unless they do a 4K scan of it, because I'm almost 100% positive that the scan on here is whatever master they had for that old DVD. So it's nothing that stupendous, like I said.
Man, that sucks too. That's one reason I didn't buy it.
Great to have it, but yeah, wait till you can get it a little cheaper.
Yeah, because it was like 22 or 25 bucks.
Yeah, I got a little bit off on it, but it was like 20-some bucks.
Yeah, which I was like, that's why I didn't pick that one up right away, because I was like, yeah, I love Summer School. I got the DVD. DVD's doing fine for me right now. Yeah, Chainsaw and Dave, man, that's my jam. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick that up yet. It kind of sucks.
It's nice, but being a comedy and shit like that, it's really tough to justify that kind of amount of money for when you're not even really doing anything to it.
Do you think it is maybe because of the characters of Chainsaw and Dave and the community that they represent? That's big, the big scene with the horror and effects, that maybe they thought they'd sell it to those people. Because I saw Scream Factory promoting it,
That's kind of funny you mentioned that, but yeah, maybe that's probably why. But otherwise, it's a Carl Reiner directed comedy. So I mean, yeah, with Mark Harmon,
yeah,
and Kirstie Alley, and I mean, it's a cute movie. It's a very funny movie. It's
that's a great movie. Yeah,
not a huge hit, but it was a decent sized hit if I remember right when it came out. But yeah,
it was good. Runner, you would probably like that.
And it's not so much even that they mess with
I'll
it.
check it out at some point.
Yeah, we just didn't get anything. It wasn't a new scan, which sucks. I mean, yeah, it's not horrible, but it's not worth the 20 some bucks. Like, this is what I've been getting at. Is I don't mind them doing that. It's just they need to bring that fucking price point down.
Yeah, because with the Shout Select, I mean, like you said, it was supposed to be like the what was that? What you were trying to say?
It started as a prestigious line,
like Criterion or something.
Kind of ish. Because if I remember right, like one of the first ones they put out was like, if I remember, I think it was City Slickers.
Yeah.
And they didn't add any new special features to it, but what they did do is do a new 4K scan. So at least you got an upgrade on the picture. And they did a few other ones that were movies that hadn't got releases yet, but then they started releasing a bunch of them that had already gotten releases. They clearly weren't getting new scans. They aren't getting any new special features. Once in a great while, they throw on one or two new special features. But it's like, the problem I have with it is the price point, especially when you go up against Kino, who at least when they do that, they're not hiding or saying that they're, when they get a new scan, they'll say it, right? Because otherwise then you can just assume it's the same one that we already have. But at least with Kino, they don't charge that an exuberant price, right?
Right.
It's like I can see paying $7 to $12 for a movie like that when it's basically the same shit I got on the DVD before. But I cannot justify spending 20 some bucks when it's the same goddamn thing.
I totally agree with you, and it sucks too, because I really do like the Shout Scream Factory company, because they do some great stuff, and then when they do something like that, that kind of makes it just upsets you.
Well, they've been sliding a bit, right?
Yes, they have.
They have been, and Kino's really been coming in and swooping in and taking a lot of heat away from Shout and Criterion, especially.
Exactly, and like I said, I've seen a couple Kino movies that I sure would have thought Shout would have made. You know what I mean? It's just like weird.
Oh, Kino's cranking it up. If anybody out there from Kino's listening, I love you guys. So
me too, Kino.
Like, Kino is slowly becoming the most of my titles in my collection are because whenever they have their sales, they're so cheap you can't not get them.
Right, and man, they got some good ones coming too. Like sooner or later, Live and Die in L.A. They got the Vincent Price movies that's also coming out that we could have mentioned earlier. The Incredible Dr. Phibbs and Dr. Phibbs Returns.
Some of those, sorry.
Yeah. So
they've been announcing them so quickly, and then there's even some of the ones I haven't got my hands on yet, like Oscar and a few other ones that I got to get next time they do a sale. So
yeah, and I mean, we got love for the Kino in the chat there. So.
Yeah, but I bet you'd like Summer School Runner. It's basically a PG-13 comedy. Mark Harmon plays this gym teacher who's barely a teacher, and he gets roped into to doing summer school because everybody else pieces out before the principal can get anybody else. And of course, he's just as irresponsible or more irresponsible than these kids. Of course, the class is made up of the most irresponsible kids in the school. And so he kind of learns from them, and they kind of learn from him. And since a lot of these kids just weren't getting the attention they needed, they have their little moments where like he figures out one of them is like dyslexic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then there's the one kid who's always sleeping in class. Well, he finds out, and I'm not going to give away what he's doing, but he finds out he's working at night to help his family and stuff like that. So there's all these little like interstitial things that happen, but it's hilarious. And the two highlights of the movie, of course, are Chainsaw and Dave.
Yes.
Which are basically Craig and I.
Yes, well, we connected. I'm Chainsaw.
And I'm Dave. We'll see you next time at the movies.
Yep.
I'll probably get it.
I love them guys.
Now we got to tell you why Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a cinematic masterpiece.
Yes. And I love that they let him watch it in the class.
16 millimeter, no less.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been like the most best day ever.
I'll have to check it out at some point. I did get one thing from Shout Select, but it was cheap because it was on an actual sale.
Yeah. I got a couple shout selects. I got what I get. I got Roadhouse, which I showed on here. Into the Night, and that Dan Aykroyd one that they just came out with.
Nothing But Trouble.
Oh.
Yeah, Nothing But Trouble.
See, now that's one I want to wait till I can get it on sale, a decent sale, because I didn't really care for that movie as much.
The one I got was Elvis.
Oh yeah,
that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched it recently. I thought it was really fucking good.
My only complaint
it is a good one
about Elvis is I wish they would have done a sound upgrade. Because, being Elvis, a musical movie, it'd been nice if they had a nice, at least stereo surround or 5.1 surround mix. It's just a flat mono, but yeah.
Man, Kurt Russell fucking nailed it, though.
Doesn't he? He doesn't look a thing like Elvis.
I know, but he's so good as it.
No, I remember seeing him as Elvis, and I'm like, he just looks like Kurt Russell. But then, like, when you watch the movie, it kind of just sinks in, and it's like, yeah, this dude is a good fucking Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Harmon was good on NCIS. Brent Barth. Yeah.
I like Mark Harmon. It was too bad he didn't have more of a bigger career than he did. It's
a shame. Gap Stargate, we try to have at least some knowledge of what we're talking about here.
I'm starting to.
I was gonna say, and then there's Runner.
Yeah. And then there's Runner.
Wow.
You, brother. Speaking of, what you got for us this week?
Yeah, what do you got, buddy?
All right. All right, so this is a trilogy of movies in one set. It's a Blu-ray.
Not a movie. It's a trilogy.
Correct.
A trilogy.
Yes. 3 really good movies. The second one is arguably the best in my opinion, and that is Robert Rodriguez Mexico trilogy.
Ooh, I got that. Nice.
Oh yeah. I like this. Those are good movies.
Those are really good. Yeah, El Mariachi's really good. I mean, it's super impressive, for like a super low budget movie.
It was made for $10 and a turkey sandwich.
Yep.
Not literally, but probably.
I was gonna say it had to have been. I mean,
it was next to nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, and the old.
I mean, and it's funny because I only took 2 years of Spanish, in high school, and it's like the films that we had to watch were almost exactly like El Mariachi, the way it was filmed.
Yeah.
It was shot a lot like that, and then the way Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico and From Dusk Till Dawn and his other movies after that are shot completely different, just because they're like a little more high budget. But Desperado is probably the best, arguably.
Yeah, Desperado is the best, and I do remember on the old DVD of El Mariachi, in the commentary, Robert Rodriguez explains how he made it on the cheap.
I'm gonna say something.
Where did he explain
in
that?
The commentary? From Robert Rodriguez. Go on, Tom. What are you gonna say?
In El Mariachi?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the blasphemous thing. Now, mind you, I have not seen the last film. I've only seen a bit and piece of it. I have not watched Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Okay,
but I will argue that El Mariachi is the superior film.
Oh, really?
Really?
Desperado is basically the Evil Dead 2 of that. It's basically just a remake. It's the same movie almost.
Kind of. I mean,
it is a sequel, but at the same time, it's like a flashy remake.
He did
I'd argue
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Because with Evil Dead, it's I agree. I feel like the first one's my favorite, even though I believe the second Evil Dead's a better movie, even though it's pretty much like the first one, but it is a sequel at the same time, kind of thing. I get what you mean. I mean, the beginning is not the same as El Mariachi.
Oh no, but really, in the end, it's very much like an Evil Dead 2 thing, and not just because they change actors either.
No, I never saw that, but I'll have to watch both of these movies again. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Mexico is probably my least favorite. It's still good. It's just
I like it. Yeah, it's not the best of the 3, but it's got some good performances. Like Dan Blackroyd said, Johnny Depp, he's pretty good in it.
Yeah, Donnie Depp was.
Well, Johnny Depp is good in anything but Alice in Wonderland or
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
Oh, true.
When he does
As long
stuff
as it's
like
not
that.
a remake, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's all Tim Burton though, because Johnny Depp's in literally almost every Tim Burton movie.
that's
For the
like,
last 20 years since the real Tim Burton went to outer space, yes.
yes.
Yeah. And I just realized, like, I didn't think about it this way, but like I just showed this this collection right when Robert Rodriguez had his episode of Book of Boba Fett released today, which looks terrible. No, I've seen like clips of it, and I like that dude spins, and I'm like, come on, dude, honestly, just go back to low budget movies, like do some crazy shit like that more, and you're good.
I can't talk. I have not watched any of Book of Boba Fett, so
I mean I can't talk like fully either. I haven't watched it either. I've just seen clips of it, and I will. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks bad. I'm just like I can't believe this is Robert Rodriguez. Like really? And I heard Tom, because I was listening to you guys this morning a little bit, that the reason he probably took the Star Wars gig was to do Alita 2, which
I had heard something about that, and then somebody else said something about it too, and
I have a feeling that's why. But I'm very worried about the sequel now that it's Disney, because that first one is fucking great.
We'll have to. We shall see. We shall see. But I get where you're coming from, Tom, about El Mariachi and Desperado. I personally prefer Desperado, but I
agree.
I get it. El Mariachi is actually a really great movie, though.
Plus, like one of those movies has Salma Hayek in it, so
yes,
it just almost feels like he was like in the middle of shooting something else, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna remake El Mariachi.
I mean,
probably he's probably got like, I got attention now, so I'm gonna take that movie I made and I'm gonna make it the way
like it probably was the wine scenes, to be honest with you, because it's the same kind of thing that probably happened with Kevin Smith. He's just lucky that El Mariachi was in color, because when Kevin Smith tried, he got his whole thing is like their first instinct was, oh, well, we'll remake it, but we'll remake it in color in like a real movie. Yeah, like that was the whole thing with Clerks, is that everybody wanted to do that to it. But luckily, Kevin Smith and crew, or at that time, I have a love-hate relationship with him, obviously now. Yeah. But at that time,
current Kevin Smith sucks. We know.
Yeah, like there was at least somebody at the studio that went to bat for Kevin, saying, no, we got to keep this black and white, and we got to keep it the original and what it is. Blah 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 blah. We can't mess with that part. So then Weinstein agreed, and he's like, all right, fine, we'll throw some music on it, and we'll fix it up a little bit. You got to get rid of that ending. That was about it. So like the soundtrack actually cost more than the movie did. I shit you not.
That's true. I know that. Yeah, because they had to get the name bands.
Yeah, they had a bunch of bands come in.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, don't get me wrong, the chick in the bartender chick in El Mariachi's pretty cute, but like she's not Salma Hayek. At least FanZcene will agree.
Oh no, but to me, like, here's the difference. Okay, El Mariachi feels more real, feels more grounded.
I agree. Yeah. I like
Desperado feels like every other Robert Rodriguez movie. Like I think you just kind of said that yourself here at the beginning, but yeah.
Yeah, I like the craziness of Desperado, like just
it's
Antonio.
Very much stylized, yeah.
It's just like Antonio Banderas being a badass and shit was fucking cool. And like, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to Rodriguez, I'm more into his more mature stuff, like those movies,
like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, fuck that movie, so bad. I'm sorry. I know some people like that movie. I can't stand it.
But
Spy Kids was pretty decent though.
Dan Blackroyd says Rodriguez wanted to remake the movie originally. He filmed it as basically a foreign video store throwaway. They released it anyway, so he made Desperado as the "this is what I can do" type thing.
I did not know that, but I haven't really watched all the special features. I watched like a couple things on there, but like I said, I still haven't even watched the last movie. I started watching it, and I'm just like,
it's not the best of the three.
Robert has phases, and you can feel it in every one of his movies. Like, just they look the same, they feel the same, depending on which phase they're from. Like, for instance, Desperado looks like it was filmed the day after or day before or whichever one came first. I think it was day after. Okay, day before. Sorry, before they started filming From Dusk Till Dawn.
Right.
Like it looks like he went from one right into the other.
Even in Quentin Tarantino, man.
Oh yeah, same cinematography, all that kind of shit. Like they almost could have been filmed at the same goddamn time.
I thought The Faculty was pretty good too, actually.
And then then he has his little bit different kind of phase there, where you get into the little bit afterwards, and then the Sin City phase, and then after that, all his movies
Sin City's so good.
And then they started kind of having this kind of polished, kind of Hollywood-esque kind of feel to him, and that's what I got when I stuck in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I almost said Hollywood. I just I got kind of this this is latter Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's much more Hollywood.
Like post, like what's the Grindhouse one he did?
Oh yeah,
Planet Terror. I haven't seen that yet.
Like that after that era, right? Like,
right.
But that's the project he was working on with Tarantino, right? Because Tarantino did Death Proof, I believe. Yeah.
Which I still say is superior, but most people like the other one.
I've actually heard a decent amount of people say that Death Proof is the better.
It's an overlooked Tarantino movie, that's for sure.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good. I do recommend you getting the extended cut, because what they did for the movie itself is they filmed both movies with the express idea that they would be put together at the same time on a double bill in the theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they cut both movies down to like just over an hour a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they released them on DVD and Blu-ray, they released the full cuts of the movies. Like when you're seeing the 3-hour cut or whatever, it has like stuff in there where it says like scene missing, reel missing, shit like that. It like literally jumps through the movie. So I think that's why the movie failed, because both movies are like very difficult to watch. Planet Terror runs a little bit better in the cut version, but Death Proof fucking gets destroyed in that cut. So like when you see that other version of it, it's so much better. Yeah, we all know Dan.
Yeah, he does. I agree with you, Tom.
That's just his style, though, with the foot.
At least it's not some kind of other fetishes like some Hollywood folks have. Let's say.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh no, Tarantino's a legit dude.
Here we go for you, Tom. Before we go to my pick, Gap Stargate wants to know, what is your favorite site for DVD, Blu-ray, 4K releases?
For news, we usually use Blu-ray.com. I think most of us do here. As far as like what's coming up to be on top of all that stuff, rumors, all that business. As far as actual reviews and inside industry stuff, I go to digitalbits.com mostly. I'm pretty good friends with Bill and Hunt and Tim over there, and yeah, they stay on top of their stuff, and they pretty much anything goes through there. It's official. Yeah. So yeah.
True that.
They are basically the official news for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on to me.
I won't argue that Tarantino's worst movie isn't Grindhouse Bryant, but like still,
what's his word? I mean, I don't think he's ever made a bad movie that I've seen.
That's just it. Like, yeah.
The man knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He's keeping his cinema alive.
It's the least Tarantino of all his movies, though, too, probably.
Yeah.
You'll probably disagree with me on this, and I like the movie a lot. Don't get me wrong. I feel like the least Tarantino movie is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. At least,
that's just because you haven't seen Death Proof. Once you see Death Proof, you'll say, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying." Because he filmed it like a 1970s.
I mean, I've seen Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
No, I know, but like this is specifically shot in a way that's unlike the way Tarantino ever really has shot a movie before.
Okay,
right? Like he's clearly shooting it like this is a movie that would have came out in the 1970s, kind of thing.
Oh, that kind of movie. Okay,
yeah. Well, that's the whole idea of Grindhouse, because it used to be you'd go to the drive-in and you'd have they'd have the old Grindhouse drive-ins or the Grindhouse theaters, and you'd see the A and B movies. They'd have your A and your B film. That's where the B movie comes from. It's partially. Partially. That's the older definition, but so like that was their whole idea. So they had the fake trailers in front of it. Then you had Robert Rodriguez's movie. Then you had some more fake trailers. Then you had Tarantino's movie. Well, one of those fake trailers was Machete.
Oh, cool.
Yes, and then it became a movie.
Yeah, dude, I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen Machete Kills yet. Is Machete Kills good?
I kind of heard it like jumps the shark, but I think that's what Rodriguez was trying to do with it.
All right.
I mean, the next one they want to take him to
Like,
space. So
literally,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like Robert Rodriguez. He's good with like some CGI, but I don't think he's good with a lot of CGI. You know, Shark Boy and Lava Girl is a good example of that. Like they use this, it's like they use like a handful of CGI, and it's like it just looks gross. But like when you watch something like The Faculty, where they only used like a little CGI for the monster, it's like that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
even though that movie's basically a ripoff of The Thing, but in high school.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. But here's something from Dan Blackroyd here is a personalized list from you guys of what is the definitive list of 4K movies to own. Which ones had the effort put in, like Outsiders?
That's a good point.
That could be a good video to make.
I would say, as of just one that comes up in my head, by far the best that I've seen on my TV has to be The Thing.
The Thing is definitely
The Thing
one.
is definitely in the top. Jaws 2001.
Right. Yeah.
I still I own both of those in 4K. Just haven't seen them on 4K yet. But that remaster,
Jaws, The Thing.
The Thing is unbelievably.
It's really good. And Tremors. I thought Tremors was pretty good.
Pretty good.
I
don't know if I'd say that's reference quality.
Yeah,
I still need to fucking get that. The Arrow on 4K.
Yeah. I'd have to go through the 4Ks and really think about that. That'd be more up your speed, Tom, than me.
Yeah. But no, but basically the ones we kind of mentioned already are kind of like the quintessential ones, I would say.
The Faculty. Yeah, I like The Faculty. The Faculty is good.
It's good. I just think it's ripped off by a few other movies is all.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of a ripoff in and of itself. But anyway, what you got first, FanZcene?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have this I wanted to bring on. Let me get it up here. A little movie called Zapped, starring Scott Baio, Willie Ames, which I wasn't sure if I brought this on here before or not.
Oh, well, I've been on anyway.
Yeah. No, I don't. If I did, you weren't here, so I don't really remember. But I finally got to watch it, and it's pretty good. They have a pretty good transfer on this. But considering the only thing on here is the movie, there's no special features whatsoever.
Who put it out?
Olive Films.
Oh, Olive, they're so.
Yeah, I mean the transfer is pretty good. I mean, considering that this also comes from MGM. You know,
yeah, we know how of whatever they get, probably.
Yeah, so there's that, and but it's really good. If you have not seen Zapped, I would recommend Zapped. It's just one of those classic, funny 80s sex comedies. Zapped again?
Yeah,
it's a fun watch.
I know it was a joke.
That's what it has its moments, but it's not.
I barely remember Zapped. I've seen it on TV, so that means I've seen the TV version when I was probably like 8.
Oh yeah.
And then I remember that short-lived TV show of it.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember the TV show. I was watching it.
Fox, if not, it was like syndicated or something like that. But
it's something like that. But I remember, I was watching this because it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I always remembered it was a sex comedy, much like you. I did.
Charge with Willie Ames.
Yeah, with Willie Ames, and I remember seeing it on cable too. And then when I was watching it, I was like, I could have sworn there was a lot more boobs in this movie. And then by the time it gets to the end of the movie, I'm like, oh, now I know where. Now I remember.
That's what I meant by cut the shit on television, right?
Yeah,
because I never got to see it on cable, but I do know it was a movie that played endlessly on like HBO or whatever.
Yeah, I remember seeing it a lot on like Comedy Central late at night or USA, probably one of the two.
It was,
but yeah,
really cable hits. Yeah,
yeah, it was it's good transfer. I still think it's pretty funny. I still find it pretty funny. Scott Baio and Willie Ames is in this.
It's a little pricey, but I see they only have a few copies left. So
really, how much are they charging for it?
Like 22, and I'm like, because
really?
I'll be honest with you, Olive. Most of their transfers suck donkey balls,
this one isn't too bad. It's not the
in
greatest.
some cases, you're just stuck because they're the only ones who put it out. Like, and this looks like probably one of those cases that they're the only ones who probably put this out. Because like Cujo, there's like 2 better versions out there.
Yeah.
What are some of the other ones they put out? Because there's a Monster Squad is another one they put out. There's a better version out there.
Yeah, I got that better version. Do not get the olive.
The olive sucks donkey balls. Yeah, so that's where it's like, yeah, if it's one of those zapped, I don't think anybody's going to touch that one otherwise. So
yeah, if you can find the Lionsgate Monster Squad, get that, but it is a bit pricey now.
Same with Cujo. Yeah.
Yeah. But this transfer isn't too bad. It's like you said, it's probably the best we'll ever get with this.
You know what's funny about Cujo?
Yeah.
Because I bought the Olive Films version. I'm like, oh, this is whatever. And then I realized I didn't know about it, that Lionsgate had put it out before. And I found out about it, so I went to go buy it. I didn't realize it was out of print, obviously. So I ended up paying, I think, like $40 for it. Not even a year later, I was in my little used video and record store I like to go to. I found it for $8.
Dang.
The same Lionsgate one. So I bought it for my girlfriend at that time, but I was like, oh, are you fucking kidding me?
But I can't believe they're charging $20-something for Zap. I got mine free because it was a birthday gift.
Oh, that's cool. But I could have been a jerk and like resold that Cujo too.
Yeah, you could have did that.
I was nice and gave it to my girlfriend because she was a huge horror freak. My girlfriend at the time, but yeah.
Yeah. Then that sucks. That's how they get you every time, isn't it? Isn't that always the way though?
Well, there's a few I have never come across again, so I'm glad I got them. But that's just one of the rare times where I've happened to stumble across. The only other time, surprisingly, is one that's going to come up later, so I'll bring it up. I won't bring up the title now.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah. But if you've never seen Zapped and you're in the mood for like an 80s teen like sex comedy with goofiness, check it out. It's funny. Scott Baio gets powers. He can levitate things with his mind. That's the whole premise. He can move things, and it just, and he's a high school student who's a nerd who's a bit unpopular. So that's about the extent of the movie. Plus Heather Thomas from Fall Guy, who's smoking hot. I forgot how hot she was, is in this movie. So yeah.
Grab that one.
Yeah. So there you go. There's that. And so
Runner's like, I ain't seen it.
Yeah, I guarantee you never seen
who?
it.
Of course not.
Who?
Not who?
Who's Scott Baio?
Is he that Trump guy?
Joni loves Chachi.
Oh, that guy. All right, I suppose it's my turn, huh?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Well, I got my first 4K release of this week. This one came out a few weeks ago.
Juice.
Juice.
I saw them in the stores.
You got the juice?
I don't have the juice.
Omar Epps and Tupac Shakur. Yeah, it's a decent.
It's been a while since I've seen that one.
It's not horrible. I mean, it's not like Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society good, but it's good. It's in that kind of almost feels like the cheap knockoff melodramatic version of it.
Yeah.
Because Tupac just plays a crazy motherfucker in this movie. And he goes from like 0 to crazy and fast. But the basic outline is you've got these 4 guys growing up, in the inner city, and each of them has, wants to find a way out to get big. You got Omar Epps' character who wants to be a DJ, and Tupac, who'd on the other end of the spectrum would rather be a thug. So and then you got the other 2 guys kind of wrapped up in the middle of it all. And New Jack City's pretty good, Anthony Draven too, but I think that one's probably better than Juice. Juice is just kind of like I don't know how to put it. It just feels kind of like we got to make one of those too kind of movies.
Yeah. It's been a while, probably since the 90s since I've actually seen that one.
And honestly, if it didn't have Omar and Tupac in it, it probably would have gotten forgotten, basically.
Yeah. It's one I like.
He does give a pretty good performance in it till he goes completely batshit crazy near the end. Then he's hamming it up like a motherfucker. But yeah.
I always like, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. So.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the next step just before those, right? Yeah. I mean, like I said, you get into the movie because like by the end, not to get too deep into it, but like Tupac gets him wrapped up into some crime shit, and like I said, he goes full on like hammy villain.
Yeah, I think I do remember that part of the movie because I do remember like thinking like Tupac.
The last third of the movie falls apart. Let's be real. Like, it's not really a big spoiler, but like, yeah. So he tries to set the Omar Epps character up for murder and shit. Like, and it gets real convoluted and silly near the end. And it just, yeah, but it kind of resolves itself, I guess. But it does have that almost like very like we had to reshoot the ending kind of feel to it. I don't know if that was the case, but
I was about to say, I wonder if maybe they had to go back and redo it.
Like maybe the original ending wasn't so like maybe the original ending was more Boys in the Hood kind of ish and didn't have like a happy ending, and then like the test audience didn't like it, so maybe they went back and reshot this whole like weird ending to it. It's just like, I shouldn't say it's weird, but it goes from like realistic to over the top in like 10 seconds. It feels like,
yeah, it's like one of the like grounded, and then all of a sudden it just.
Well, then you have, because it really kind of takes a point where it jumps from the logic is like, because like you have this scene where the boys are outside of a bar, and one of them sends in, I think it was Omar Epps' character, to get a pack of cigarettes because they just get them right out of the machine. And there's a guy in there they know from the neighborhood who's robbing the joint. So he's robbing the joint just as Omar's walking out, and he's like, "You want a piece of this?" And he's like, "No." And he walks out, and then he tells the other boys, and like, "We should get back in there and help him out, man. Yeah, we could get in on that." And of course, they get talked out of it. Well, then as soon as they get home, they see that on the news their friend got gunned down as he tried leaving the crime scene. So instead of getting the idea, "Oh, we're lucky we got out of that one alive. That was a good thing we didn't get into it," Tupac's like, "Oh no, he'd have got away if we was there helping him up and backing him up." I'm like, where the fuck do you jump to that logic, Einstein? There's still only 4 of you, and there's like 50 fucking cops.
He's like, Tupac, man.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, so then from there on, the movie just kind of goes off the rails, and it's just like, yeah, because then Tupac gets this whole like harebrained idea to rob this place, and wraps all the other guys up into it, and he turns like into major gangster mode, and it's just like, something changed here or something.
Maybe they just thought maybe like if he played it up as a hammy type villain or something.
I don't know. It went from like, inner city kid movie like Boys in the Hood to like fucking Wesley Snipes movie at the end. I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember as a kid thinking the same kind of thing. I'm just kind of like, yeah, it was all right, but
yeah.
But I don't know why.
Transfer look good.
Yeah, it did look great. I don't know what constituted this movie getting a fucking 4K transfer, but
like, probably Tupac. Let's be real, Tupac.
Yeah, and Queen Latifah has the cameo. There's a bunch of cameos in the movie, of course.
Is Poetic Justice on Blu-ray?
I think it's just on regular Blu-ray, but
really, yeah. I would thought that would have one, with all them in that. Janet Jackson and Tupac.
I got Boys, I got Boys in the Hood, but I think that's only on regular Blu-ray. I got Menace to Society on 4K, and I got Spike Lee one, Do the Right Thing on 4K. So like a lot of them already are out. So yeah, I don't know if it's just the studios trying to pretend like they're hip and cool and they're trying to be inclusive or something.
Probably. But hey, is it just one of them executives in there like, hey, that joint with Tupac with Juice back in the day? We need to get
I
that
can
out
understand there. Do the Right Thing, but Juice?
Well, that's another one I did.
In the bottom of the barrel with Juice. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that's another one I kind of remember on being played on cable a lot. Back in the day in the 90s.
Sure. It was. I don't even remember what it did in the box office. I can't imagine it did nearly as well as some of the other ones we mentioned. Because even New Jack City was much more respected than this movie, is one that was brought up earlier.
True.
Which is a very similar film in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah. And welcome to Trash Stash. He says, hey, what's up? I just found your channel today. That is awesome. Glad you're here. Go ahead. What'd you say, Tom?
I said the same thing you did.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're enjoying the show, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Appreciate it. And you did comment on one of my videos today. I remember that on my Monster Squad thing. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. The Monster Squad.
I really hope they find a new version of that song, man. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Are they just putting out a tape or what?
It's just a tape. I think it's just the soundtrack, the score.
I got the CD soundtrack from, I think Entrada put it out before. But...
yeah, I think they're just putting out the score on the tape. Yeah. Mostly their big bundle thing is the thing that they're, because you can get like a T-shirt, 2 posters, a pin,
Send
stickers.
it off. I'm gonna check it off. Check it out after the show.
Yeah, I'll send you a link after it. But yeah, welcome.
The trash stash.
Yeah, I would snatch up a 4K of New Jersey Drive in a second if I had a 4K player. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That New Jersey Drive was another one in that group. Yeah. What do you got for us, Runner? Since nothing.
Yeah, Runner. What do you got now? What's this?
All right, so this movie I recently watched.
You got the juice?
I got a different kind of juice. No, this isn't really a juice. This is a star. I think you know what movie I'm talking about.
Stars Born.
Ooh, Starman.
And you finally watched it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, I was going to say, let's run it down, Werner, because we've been waiting to hear what you have to say about this.
Okay, so so it's great. This is definitely like an A-level John Carpenter movie, because he mostly does a bunch of B-level movie stuff. Mm-hmm. Really good. The chemistry between Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen is amazing in this. It's fucking hilarious.
He's playing an alien. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I know. Like, no, because him being an alien is fucking hilarious as shit. Like I fucking laughed my ass off.
What are you doing? Where did you learn how to drive? I learned from watching you. Red light stop, green light go, yellow light go very, very fast.
That's what I was gonna say. I love that. I laughed so yeah, that was the part I laughed like very hard in. It was like when he said like, was it red light stop, green light go, and yellow light go faster. I'm like, he's not wrong.
I just always laugh when he says, "I put a baby in you."
Yeah, he will be of the human.
And
he will be a human child.
And that score is great too, and it's not by John
really
Carpenter.
I know, but doesn't it sound like somebody like trying to be John Carpenter? Though?
A little bit.
I would bet he had his hand in it somehow.
I remember like watching like someone recording like one of the concerts he did. I don't know if it was in Chicago or somewhere else. Maybe it was in LA or something. I don't know. But they were like one of the scores he played was the main theme of Starman. But even though it wasn't by him, but he played it. But like, of course, he played like Halloween, Big Trouble.
Wasn't it you and I, Greg, who kind of surmised that maybe there wasn't a little. Like he kind of just ghost wrote it, and whoever it was.
Yeah, I would say he probably did. Yes,
I mean
a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
it feels so John Carpenter.
It is. Like I said, I guarantee he had a hand in it. He may have had a lot on his plate for the movie because it is a bigger budget movie, but I'm sure he had something to do with that soundtrack.
Yeah, and those like explosions and shit were fucking cool.
Nobody wants to remember that TV show.
Yeah, the Robert Hayes.
No, but remember the car crash they were in, and Starman he glows blue.
Yeah,
that was fucking great.
I still think the special effects hold up pretty well.
They look good.
There's not nearly as many as you kind of remember in the end, but yeah, it's a really kind of straightforward flick. It's a road movie, really, is what it is.
It is. And he did, like, Jeff Bridges actually based his thing off of a bird. The way he moves as the alien, cause he saw a bird, and because I watched the special features, and he saw a bird, and so he based his whole thing off of that.
Was he part of the commentary?
No, it was Jeff. It was John Carpenter. They interviewed him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I think.
And Jeff Bridges, yes, he is in it.
Got nominated for an Oscar for this. Jeff did.
Yes, he did. It was his first Oscar nomination.
That's cool. Yeah. Really good movie. That the way it ends is perfect in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the spaceship comes in and then the score plays where he says goodbye. It's like, damn. Like, okay, like this is the one John Carpenter movie that actually gets you in the feels.
It does. It gets you.
Like it almost kind of got me.
Basically, E.T. for adults, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's the better E.T. in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean I love E.T.
Holds up
Yeah,
much better.
I mean, I liked E.T. I just don't think it holds up as well.
I love E.T., but I definitely think Starman is like. I think if
Starman,
more people would see Starman, they would be like,
it's probably because I'm.
That's it.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm older now. I like Starman more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Well, just growing up, I just remember a lot of people referring to it like that. I mean, it wasn't like it was an unpopular film. I think it's still, to this day, I think it's John Carpenter's biggest film. Like,
yeah.
Not gross-wise. Gross-wise would be Halloween, but I think as far as his biggest box office hit, being a studio picture.
Yeah, I loved it a lot. Maybe I'm going a little too high on this, but it might be my second favorite John Carpenter movie.
It's up there in my list. That's for sure.
It's definitely top tier.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
It might be my second. The first one is still The Thing. Yeah, Starman. It might be my second.
I like put a baby in you, man.
Look, put a baby. It's call it the Little Lebowski. The little dude.
I fucking love the Big Lebowski.
That's not me. I'm not the Lebowski, man. You're the Lebowski. I'm the dude.
I love the Big Lebowski. That's a great movie.
That rug really did bring the room together.
John Goodman cracks me the hell up in that movie.
Over the line, Donnie!
Yeah, they pissed on my fucking rug, man. Who pissed on your rug? Shut the fuck up, Donnie! Excuse me, Smokey, but you were over the line.
That's a good movie.
Dude, man, mark it. No, you were over the line. This is not Nam. There are fucking rules.
It's over the line.
Oh my God. Did you just pull a piece?
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, seriously, like Culture Casino needs to do a skit for that movie sometime. He would be a great
piece, man.
He needs to do a short skit of the dude sometime. Like that needs to happen. And I know he's a fan of that movie, so.
Yeah. But I'm glad you liked Starman.
What the hell is this? It's a fucking ringer, dude.
I loved it. No, I loved Starman.
It's good because it's just like
really good.
It's like it's got that feel to it, like the almost like the Spielberg-esque to it, but it's John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Starman,
yeah. But yes, Tim Hayes and
John Carpenter making a Steven Spielberg movie, really, yeah.
Basically, it's basically what it is.
They
need
to do a 4K upconvert for Starman now that I think about it.
They should.
What does it say on the back there, what it's mastered in? I don't know if they did a 2K master or 4K master for that one.
Oh, I don't know. But like, doesn't Sony own Starman?
Sony owns it, so they'll probably hold on to it for their own release.
Yeah, because I know Christine is... the 4K for that is by Sony.
Mm.
See, now I can actually see maybe Sony slipping that into a future Columbia Classics release.
Oh.
Since it did get some nominations.
I still haven't gotten the first two.
They bought Columbia Access.
That fucking first one while you can, man. It's out of print now.
I was going to say that first one is pricey as hell.
Luckily, most of the movies are available separately now. So,
yeah. It's a good thing you're getting them.
Honestly, that first box, the only thing that's really, I mean, if anything, it's worth just getting Dr. Strangelove and Lawrence of Arabia alone. Then the rest is almost like bonus.
Because like in the second one, I know Taxi Driver is a part of there. Can you only get Taxi Driver on 4K on that set?
For now, I believe yes.
Okay, and was it it's that David Fincher movie?
The second one has the the Social Network Stripes.
Yeah, the Social Network. That's not that you can only get that I think on 4K.
Murder by Numbers or something like that. I can't remember. And Oliver and Terms of Endearment. the Anthony Hopkins fucking Victorian one. I can't think of the name. Pride and Prejudice, not that one. Is that
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name either.
But yeah, it's usually their more prestigious Oscar-driven movies. The first box set had like Jerry Maguire in it, though, and League of Their Own, Doctor Strangelove.
I think Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strangelove you can get separately, right?
Criterion released it, but I don't know if you can get it 4K separately or not.
I thought you could.
You might be able to. I think they're all available now. I think the only one that wasn't was Lawrence of Arabia, but I think that has been released now. But what it doesn't have, I think, is the
special. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like I've seen that around my Best Buy as the 4K.
It's plausible.
Doctor Strangelove, because like there's a decent amount of Kubrick stuff out in 4K.
Have you seen Doctor Strangelove yet?
No.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite Kubrick movies.
Really?
Oh yes, it is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll check it out at some point.
It's Kubrick's comedy, and it literally is like, it's like, okay, if Kubrick's gonna make a comedy, motherfucker's gonna make one of the best comedies ever goddamn made.
Oh, I didn't know it was like, I didn't know it was a comedy.
It is a straight up comedy, yes. Well, men, we can't fight in here. This is the war room. You got Peter Sellers playing like 3 parts and shit. Yeah.
I've seen like clips of it. Like I remember seeing like one clip of someone riding a nuke.
I don't even want to give you away the whole like what the whole point of the movie like gets to.
Okay, I'll check.
Yeah, the nuke thing with what's his face riding the nuke. Yeah, that's a big part of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing a clip of that.
Slim Pickens, yeah. Yeah, Slim Pickens actually plays a part that Peter Sellers was supposed to play, but then he backed out of it.
Yeah, but that is a good movie.
Some say he faked him breaking his leg or something like that, but it actually was because he didn't feel like he could do the Southern accent.
I would buy that.
Knowing him, yes.
Yeah. But that was
he
good.
He would have deliberately broke his leg, yes.
Yeah. That was good. Whose turn is it?
Scott is great in it.
I think it's your turn, Greg.
Yeah, I think it's you now.
Oh, is it me? Oh,
yeah.
That's all right. I'm glad that runner finally saw that and that he liked it.
I loved it.
It's a great movie. Okay, so let's see if runner's ever seen this before. Captain America, directed by Albert Pyun.
I think I tried watching it.
Trying not to get the glare. What, you didn't like this? It's got a lot of cool people in it.
We actually have a video about that coming out pretty soon.
Oh, do you? Look at that. I'm being runner today. I'm getting an ESP.
I've seen I think I've seen clips of it, but like I don't know.
Just know he's got rubber ears on the mask.
I know, it looks so dumb.
Well, the short history of that is it started over at Golden Globus.
Right.
And actually, bits and pieces of Masters of the Universe 2 are used in that story.
Mm-hmm. And I thought most of that was turned into Cyborg.
They used the sets and costumes and stuff like that for Cyborg in some of the story. But most of the story was actually utilized in Captain America.
Oh, interesting.
Part of which was Skeletor,
I was about to say,
hiding as a human. As a film producer in Hollywood, much like the Red Skull hides out as a human in that movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
And E-Man comes back to Earth, much like Captain America shows up, and I believe, if I remember right, he has like amnesia, so he has to be reminded who he is and all this shit.
Yeah, in the Captain America one,
it's the same thing in the original E-Man 2 script.
Yeah, I believe he has.
The whole thing is like the whole thing with Skeletor beat him there and already got himself infiltrated and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know. I mean, I knew about the Cyborg stuff, but I didn't know about the stuff on this. So that'd be a great video.
Otherwise, there's a few bits and pieces in that are more loyal to the original comics than the Marvel version or the Marvel Studios version.
A lot of the opening of this movie is like ripped right out of the Captain America comic books.
Then there's some things that are completely different, but
yeah, and
like they give him polio or whatever it was or something like that.
Yeah, like in the beginning, he's like got some kind of polio or something.
And obviously, Red Skull's not a Yahtzee.
No, and he's Italian.
Yeah, he's Italian.
He's Italian.
That's dumb.
it's a Albert.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad on Red Skull though. Believe it or not.
I mean, no, the makeup on the beginning, yeah.
I've seen like the way Red Skull looked in that movie. I'm just like, looks so bad. I mean, I know. It's like they didn't really know what they were doing at the time because they didn't, it was just different back then. But like, and I'm someone who really loves the first Captain America movie.
So do I.
Like, underrated as shit.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what canon had like that was Captain America was one among many of those movies that they announced via the Marvel deal they made, like Spider-Man and a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, that just happened to survive the death of canon. And Andre and I found the connection between that and Motu 2. So yeah, cool. I don't know if we're going to get that in the next video when we get to the movie part, but I think we're planning a completely separate video where we're going to get into all that shit, I believe.
I want to hear that. I want to watch that video when you guys get it made.
But yeah, like I bought the Cyborg Scream Shout Factory, whichever one it was, same company.
Scream Shout Factory, I think.
I can't remember because usually they're horror sci-fi that goes under Scream.
Yeah.
Anyway, whichever it was, like, and the only reason I bought that was so I could see the documentary and shit because I wanted to see what connected with Masters of the Universe.
Right.
But basically for that, they used mostly just the costumes and set. And I think there was a draft of Motu 2 that was similar-ish to Cyborg, where it had something to do with, transporting some girl across Eternia or some shit like that. But that I don't remember how much of that they got into the making of. I'd have to watch it again. But no, we found more connections between Captain America and Motu 2 than we did.
That's crazy. I want to see that video. I want to see you make that video.
It's almost like they just rewrote it with Captain America.
I got to see that now because I've always liked that. I mean, I know it's a bad movie, but I've always liked this Captain America movie as a kid. It's just, I don't know, it was something
about it.
Because it was what you got at the time, kind of thing.
I guess, yeah.
Well, we found the connection was that the director was the guy who was going to direct Motu 2.
Yeah, Albert Pyun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So basically, they just reused those ideas in Captain America.
That's funny. Now this is from the Bat, which he got one of the missing discs there for the Ghostbusters set. He wants to know: has anybody heard?
What you got to do is get a hold of Sony's customer service. I heard they're pretty good about it. Once you get a hold of them, you can either get a hold of them through their website. You go to like Sony.com, I think it is, or SonyHomeVideo.com, something like that. There's like Reddit sites, and I think Digital Bits, speaking of, I think posted it the day before yesterday or today, maybe even about how to do that. And there's even an 800 number you can get a hold of through too. That some people have said they've already emailed them and heard back. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I could have swore somebody told me that Amazon is aware of this too. And since, like I said before, these are the exact same discs as the standard release, that somebody had said that Amazon is already prepared that they know what's going on, and they're just replacing the discs that are fucked up with the standard release. So you just keep your own slip cover, and you may not even have to send back the fucked up disc. Sometimes Amazon doesn't even require that anymore. So maybe if you got it through Amazon, you can try that. I don't know for sure. I cannot confirm that. But if you go through Amazon customer service, let them know that you got one of the bad sets and which movies you need, and they might be able to replace them via the other discs, I heard. But I don't know if that's true or not. So
there you go. I hope that helped you out.
Don't quote me on that one. That kind of goes along with the other thing I said, that if you see them at like your local store, maybe you can take them back to Walmart and swap them out.
Swap them out there. But yeah, I've heard that too.
Cover or whatever. Yeah.
I've heard the email, the phone number, and everything. So yeah, hopefully they'll figure something out for that for everybody.
Sony was on top of it though, so yeah.
Yeah. Brian Barth has one more question about Stanley Kubrick. What if Kubrick was making films in a modern era? He could still do it if he was 90.
I don't know.
He could, but he only did a movie like once every 5 to 10 years near the end there.
I was gonna say I don't think he did a whole lot of stuff.
He probably would have made AI and like one of those other movies that he had planned.
Yeah.
But that's just it. Once you get past that point, I mean, how much longer would he have possibly even lived? To where, I mean, what if you want to say like what would he have done in a modern time? Like what kind of a movie would he make now? I think he would really have to comment on the internet, how social media has taken over our lives. I don't know. He always finds a weird way to. I mean, just no matter what he does, like Kubrick's one of my go-to favorites, and he just has such a varied repertoire that you can never really guess where he's gonna go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even AI kind of already did kind of comment on some of the things I just fucking said. So like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing, Dan. I don't know, like that's kind of exaggerated on Kubrick. It was more so that he was just a perfectionist. But
yeah,
I've heard the truth is he didn't nearly do as many takes as some people said.
Kind of just over exaggerated him, inflated him a bit. Yeah.
Like supposedly that one bit in The Shining where they did the stair scene where I can't remember how many takes they claim it was.
Yeah.
Like 80 some or something like that, when in reality it was only like 20 some, I think somebody said.
But
I'm sure it felt like that many.
By the end of the day, after 20
once
takes.
you get past like 10, I'm sure it starts to feel like, okay, we're getting a little.
Didn't he give the one chick a hard time? The one that was. What was
it's debatable. What's her face?
Yeah, what's her name?
Daryl Hannah.
Or not? No.
Is that Daryl Hannah that he made cry, or was this somebody else?
I think you're thinking not Shelley Long. Jesus Christ, Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah, Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
If you watch the making of it, like historically, people are like, "Oh, he drove her crazy, made her hair fall out, all this business." You watch the documentary about the making of it, and she's a little over dramatic. She's a bit of a diva, and on top of it, she clearly has some mental issues that she discovered later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's fair to blame Kubrick for any of that. You watch that and you can tell he's having a hard time dealing with her.
I can get that.
And she's like being over dramatic on the set about a lot of things. And sure, he might have had her do a lot of takes and he might have been pushy. But I mean, there's live camera running through a lot of this stuff. And because his wife or whatever did the documentary for it, which is a great documentary. It's on the Blu-rays and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I feel like she pushed him just as much as he pushed her.
Okay, that makes sense.
That would make sense.
Because there's like one scene that really kind of tells it all, and that's between two scenes, I guess, in that documentary. And that's one where she's actually, the hair is falling out of her head. But it's like little normal clumps you would get if you brush your hair. And she like over dramatizes it so fucking much. She's like acting like she's having like this nervous breakdown, and everybody on the set's like holding her hand, and they got her laying on a little cot, and it's like the production has to come to a complete fucking halt for this, of course, and everybody's clearly she obviously has a problem, take care of it, but you're just sitting there going, and you're watching this whole thing, and you're just like, it was kind of reminded me of that what's her face when she was doing the thing during the beginning of the COVID. And she's like, see what this is doing to my hair? And she's like combing her hair and it's coming out. Like that's kind of what she was acting like. And then the other scene that really kind of was the telltale for me is when she's supposed to be coming out the door and they're standing there and he's screaming, action, action, as loud as he fucking can. And she sticks her head out the door and she goes, did you say action yet? And he's like, yes, fucking action. And she's like, well, I can't hear you. And it's like, well, don't, like, and you can get where his frustration is like, well, if you're going to come out, just fucking come out and do the scene. Don't
Exactly.
come out and ask me the actor. Because now we got to reset everything, you dumb idiot. Like, you can get where his frustration was coming from. It's like, just fucking do the scene.
Exactly.
This is why they had so many fucking takes. Because, like, this happens like 3 or 4 times. And she just keeps sticking her head out like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the thing. It's like, clearly, count to 10 and come out the fucking door. Exactly. All you had to do is come out the door with the knife and run across the scene. It's like, so you can get to a point where you see Kubrick where he's probably tearing his own hair out, just going, fucking Christ, I just need you to do one goddamn thing.
Just one thing.
How hard is it to do? So I'm coming out the door and go, did you go action? Because that they have to reset the snow at the front of the door. They have to do all this other shit. And it's like, because that's the other problem is every time somebody would walk through the snow, they'd have to re-rake the snow and all shit. So I'm sure it was a fucking nightmare to deal with her and her little fucking isms. Yeah. And, you know, you watch Jack work with him and Jack's like a dream. Like he just gets it right away. He's doing the shit and he's clicking in there and he does his own little thing. And, you know, he adds things to it and he says stuff to Kubrick and they're communicating. She doesn't really communicate very well. Like, that's the other thing I can see. And again, I'm not trying to blame her most of all because Kubrick is known to be difficult.
Yeah.
He is a perfectionist. And if you don't do what he fucking wants, he will let you fucking know he's pissed. And he does sit there and yell at her in this video. And I mean, it's you know, it's a little uncomfortable to watch, but you get to a point where you're like, I can understand where he's fucking coming from because he's like, we're fucking standing out here in the freezing fucking cold. There's 30 guys standing out here waiting for you to just come out and walk from here to here.
I totally get that. Yeah.
And like, yeah. So like like I said, and every time she do that, they have to reset the scene, re-rake the snow, do all this shit. And it's like, now come out. It's like,
I believe The Shining is one of the films I'll be watching in my film class pretty soon.
Oh, The Shining is an amazing film. I don't.
Oh yeah, I love it. I know.
I like all the changes that he made to it too.
The first time I saw The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, I was at a friend's house like late at night. We just ordered pizza and we were just watching The Shining for the first time, and we were just like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!"
Yeah, because like they shot that thing up at that hotel, like, and it was isolated and shit. So like everybody was starting to get on each other's nerves anyway. But yeah,
man, those were the fucking days.
One more question about the Ghostbusters here before we go to your pick, Tom. Is part 2 the same transfer? Because the Bat wants to know, he'll just rebuy it, worst case scenario.
They are all the same transfers. The only difference between the ones in the box set is now they have the Dolby Vision, but as far as I know, they're replacing those in the retail versions. So if you find the one with the newer style cover, those are supposed to be the newer ones. But yeah, that's the only main difference is instead of just HDR, it's got Dolby Vision now. So
there you go. All right. So what do you got for us, Tom? What is your next pick?
Oh, shit.
Your third pick.
Well, this one is, speaking of Hollywood and directors and all that stuff, we've got the Criterion Collection version of The Play.
The Playa.
Am I the only one who's seen this one?
I think you might be the only one who's seen that one, but it sounds. Fill me in on it real quick.
Okay, this is the Robert Altman film that was his comeback in 1992. It stars Tim Robbins, and it's about a Hollywood executive who is finding himself on the outs, and at the same time as he's stressing about losing his job, he starts getting these random postcards in the mail that are growingly threatening. So he kind of tries to figure out who the fuck who's trying to scare me or whatever this is going on here. Obviously, it's somebody I didn't get back to because that's his job. He's a producer. He's there to hear pitches and greenlight films, right? So somebody he didn't call back is clearly who he's trying. So he's trying to figure out who it is. So he goes back through his list of people he never called back, and he thinks he's got a pretty good idea who it was. And he goes to try and find this guy, and he calls him, and he's not home, and his girlfriend answers the phone. And, of course, he already drove to his house with the express notion of talking to this guy and getting to the bottom of all this and hopefully sweet-talking him out of being such a jerk and scaring the shit out of him and all that stuff and stressing him out. Well, he's not home, but his girlfriend tells him where he's at. So he goes to the theater where the gentleman's watching a movie. And after the movie, they get together for a few drinks. They talk a few things out. And Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays the writer, eventually just gets belligerent and pissed off because, you know, he got pissed at being blown off in the first place. And they get into an argument. And as he's getting in the car, there's a bit of a struggle. And he knocks Tim Robbins down into this, like I'm not saying this in the derogatory term, into like a dike. Okay.
Yeah. I get what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I think I may have seen part of this film.
And it's a great fucking flick. And I'm just getting to the first like bit of this. Like, this
sounds really good.
A very noir-esque, very kind of unraveling kind of mystery comedy-esque kind of thing. So then he gets up and they get into a fight. Well, in the process of the fight, Tim Robbins accidentally kills Vincent D'Onofrio. So he flees the scene, makes it look like it was a robbery. And of course, everybody, through all his interactions with him, everybody knows he was the last person to technically see him alive. So he's got the police coming at him on one end. He's still dealing with this, you know, hotshot producer coming in, kind of taking his role at the studio. And he's also at the same time finding himself falling in love with the guy he killed's girlfriend.
This movie sounds really good. Really, really good. It really does.
Whoopi Goldberg and Lyle Lovett play the detectives.
Well, and again, I think I have seen part of this.
I don't want to get too deep into it because then once I start getting too deep into the story, it starts giving it all away. But so like you have all this setup on his ass hanging on over his shoulders. And it's a hilariously well done film. It's Robert Altman at the top of his fucking game. The opening shot of this movie is fucking brilliant. Probably one of the best opening shots of a movie with a single shot you'll ever see, right? And part of the gimmick is they've got Fred Ward coming in and out of the scene with this guy talking about opening shots that are amazing with one shot. So like they're clearly playing on the meta value of it. And it goes from like, you know, scene to scene of these different producers talking about their deals and all this shit. And you see in the windows and all this stuff. And it's just such a great fucking film, the way it's put together. Masterfully done. Criterion does a great job putting a nice package together for it. It was a 4K restoration, but it was from an interpositive. So I'm curious what the deal is with that. New Line has me a bit worried because I'm curious as to the state of some of their original films because I've heard enough stories.
Yeah, like the critters and everything.
Like the critters story specifically, yes. That make me worry.
It worries me about the Nightmare on Elm Street if we ever actually get a 4K.
And other early New Line films and other that may not have gotten preserved correctly. So that does give me pause. But no, outside of that, it does look great. It is only a regular Blu-ray, but it's still from a 4K digital restoration.
And it's Criterion?
It is a Criterion.
Yeah, that's going on my list.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list. You can definitely pick up on when they do their 50% off sale or whatever. I'd recommend.
Yeah, it's going down on the list.
It is a must-have. I mean, it's got Peter Gallagher in it. Besides that, Dean Stockwell is in it. Sidney Pollack.
When do they do their?
That's amazing cast.
What was that?
When will they do their 50% off sale?
You got to just keep checking Barnes and Noble. They usually do it, and they usually do it like 2-3 times a year.
Dude, there is not like one Barnes and Noble close to where I live. I would have to drive like.
The beauty of it is Amazon will usually match those prices, so just like pay attention to when they're doing it, and then just jump over and check Amazon.
Got it.
The titles you want. Otherwise, like a lot of local bookstores, or if you have a Barnes and Noble around this actual physical store, they actually still have those.
All right.
I vaguely remember parts of that movie, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking that one up. That sounds like a really, really good movie.
In it too for like 3 scenes, but yes. And he has all but like 5 lines, I think. But yeah,
but yeah, that definitely sounds like a really good movie.
And it is probably one of Tim Robbins' best, and this was just before he did The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna definitely be picking that up. That, like I said, that is on the list now.
They meant to make because Altman wanted to make Shortcuts, but the studio he couldn't get the funding together for it, and this just happened to fall in his lap. And so this was just basically supposed to be the springboard to Shortcuts. And if I remember right, this was the movie that got more attention. I think it got like a few Oscar nominations. I don't know if it won anything, but I know it got quite a bit of attention when it came out. I mean, it's a fucking amazing movie. So
it sounds really good. You gave it a nice setup too. So
it's great.
But once you said like Lyle Lovett is a detective or whatever, that like triggered something in my head. Like I've seen a part of that. So
why not bus?
Yes, Jeremy Piven's hair magically did grow over the years. I don't know how that happened.
He got money, hence plugs.
Yep.
Well, Popeye, ironically, is the movie that blacklisted him. Sadly,
I remember that.
Although it didn't really lose money, it just was so horribly received, and which is sad because I just feel like people didn't get it. Because I fucking adore that movie.
I remember watching it and loving it. I never remembered having any problems with it at all.
Well, I think people were expecting the Fleischer cartoon Popeye. When that is a different kind of version than what they were making. They were making the original comic strip Popeye. And anybody who knows the history knows that Altman and crew were extremely faithful to that original comic strip. Because originally Popeye wasn't the star. He didn't come in until way later. Yeah. Not way later, but he came in a little while in, and he was just another boarder at the house. It was actually about the oil family. And then Popeye and Olive kind of hit it off, and it kind of became a thing. And then that kind of translated into the cartoons, which the cartoons then brought in the spinach and stuff like that, which they did bring into the movie a little bit and stuff. They did. Yeah. And the song and a few other things. But overall, though, all the characters in the town and all that kind of shit, all that comes from the comic and stuff. So
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So that's
just because of how much money it cost Bryant, which it did make its money back, but it didn't do that well. And it was just horribly panned by critics, and audiences just seemed to turn away from it. I don't know why, but it has grown a cult following over the years.
Yeah,
that's true trash stash. It wasn't fucking Kubrick. It was Popeye.
Popeye made her lose her damn mind.
No, that is her best performance though ever. Period. She was.
It probably is. She was
made to play Olive Oil.
I know she had the right everything at that time for that. Yeah. So yeah. And see her now, and she's definitely
And it was Robin Williams' first film role. He was on Mork and Mindy at the time and had been in other things as far as that goes, but it was his first starring film role as far as I know. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I remember.
Harry Nilsson did the music for it, and supposedly he locked himself into a hotel room and said he wasn't going to finish it until somebody bought him a big bag of Coke.
Yeah, that's the soda kids.
Do you know anything about Harry Nilsson? That is a completely fucking believable story.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
Let's put it this way. Them motherfuckers partied so hard, somebody fucking died. Not once, but at least more than once.
More than likely.
They were partying for months, and the party finally ended because some motherfucker died.
That's crazy shit, man.
If you want to hear some crazy fucking rock and roll stories, go look up Harry Nilsson. That motherfucker could party his ass off. But he was a fucking genius.
Isn't that always the case, though?
Voice of a fucking angel. Nobody could sing like him.
It's those people, the genius people like that, always have the massive drug problems and stuff.
Oh yeah, if there was he did every drug under the sun. That's for sure. Yeah. He would put John Lennon and all those guys to shame. They'd be all we can't do this shit. No
that's major drug. I can't do this.
No, that's not that Lost. That's what it was called. It was called The Lost Weekend, but it was literally months where Harry Nilsson, John Lennon, and a bunch of other rock stars were all shacked up at this house when John Lennon broke up from Yoko Ono for a while. And it all ended when somebody OD'd on some drugs, basically. It was a big, huge fucking fiasco, but it went for months. Dang. It was just nonstop party.
That's crazy, man.
There's a movie to be made about Nilsson someday.
They need it. I would watch the shit out of that movie.
You listen to his music, and his music doesn't really reflect that, right? The guy saying shit everybody's talking at me. Yeah. But I don't word this thing. Well, this motherfucker can party his ass off.
That's crazy.
He put the lime in the coconut. And then you're like, that motherfucker did some drugs, right? You don't write that shit.
You put the lime in the coconut and you drink them bowled up.
How do you go from everybody's talking?
Exactly. How do you do that?
Put the lime in the coconut and drink them both. That's like some fucking drugs in your fucking coconut, motherfucker.
That's what he was insinuating. Oh man, it's crazy.
His belly had problems. We called the doctor, woke him up.
That's what he told him to do.
It is a drug song if you think about it. It's about ODing on. Well, I might get into that anyway.
Yeah.
Way off the beaten path, but not like Altman didn't do enough drugs himself. Speaking of,
But The Player does sound like a really good movie.
Oh,
It's on my list. I'm going to be picking that up. That's a good pick. And Runner, let's see what you got for your third pick.
All right, so for my third pick, this is another John Carpenter movie I watched recently, and I enjoyed it. It's probably, arguably, one of his most underrated of his movies, and I got it on 4K from Shout. It is Prince of Darkness.
Oh, yes, I have that. It's a really good one, isn't it?
This is a damn good movie.
It surprises you. Now, Tom is not... What would happen? Oh, I hit the wrong button. My bad. Sorry, Runner.
I think Tom said he only saw like clips of.
Yeah, he hasn't seen the whole one.
I do own it. I have the import, which is the same, except for I think that one has a Dolby Atmos track on it.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Once you watch the third act, that's what did it for me. Was the third act, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was hard to get into. That was my problem. But
it's got a nice slow build.
Yeah, because last time before I saw it the whole way through, I was like, I only watched like half of it just because it was a really slow build. And then once you get to the third act, it's like, okay, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's like they give you this like big setup of like religion and science and theology and the devil and and all this. Great. So like it takes a minute to get to that, but then once it gets to it, it gets really, really good. And it is legitimately like a scary movie.
It is. No, there were like a few times where like I got a little jump scared at times. I'm like, damn it, like
yeah, it gets you.
Like John Carpenter's so like this movie here proves why he is the master of horror.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. Because and the sad thing is, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like in the performances in this are good. Like Donald Pleasance is fucking great.
Yeah, Donald Pleasance always knocks it out of the park, man.
Dennis Dunn is hilarious in this. Mm-hmm. Who's the old Asian dude again from Big Trouble?
He was actually from to Big Trouble in Little China.
That's what I said, Big Trouble.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, he used him in that.
Yeah.
After this was made, he likes to work with the people he worked with before, so he gave him a predominant role in this movie.
Yeah, he was pretty good in it too. Who
I can't remember his name. If Tom was here, maybe.
But everyone else who I don't know was also pretty good in this.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it's really a good movie. Interesting concept. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Greg?
No, it's just really good and makes Victor Wong. Yes, thank you. Victor Wong is his name. Thank you, Dan Blackroyd. That took me. I knew his name. Yes, Victor Wong.
Yeah, Victor Wong was really.
Yeah,
good.
He plays a great role in that, and then him and Donald Pleasance play so great off each other because Donald Pleasance is like the Catholic priest, and Victor Wong is the scientist, and so they're trying to figure out what exactly is religion, what exactly is science, and everything. So it's really good in that way.
I'm not gonna lie though, that kind of sucked when that one chick pushed that one person in the mirror, and then Donald Pleasance just throws an axe at it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm back.
There you are. Don't say the ending.
Yeah, I won't.
Go ahead, Tom.
I don't have anything with the Victor Wong thing because you already got that, but I will say it's ironic that you said this proves that he's a master of horror, considering John Carpenter wanted to make Westerns.
That's what I was about to tell him earlier. He's more of a fan of Westerns.
Really?
Yes, he's a big Western man.
Huh.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool, Tyrell. He's got a picture of him standing in front of the church. Yeah.
It's a Western.
Yep.
Escape from New York.
I was gonna say Assault on Precinct 13 is probably like the closest thing you're gonna
Big Trouble in Little China is a Western.
Western. I mean, Kurt Russell's playing John Wayne.
Not only that, even Ghosts of Mars is kind of even a Western.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, I think Assault on Precinct 13 is actually a remake of what's that John Wayne movie?
Is it not Rio Lobo? It's the other one.
It's Rio Bravo.
Is it Rio Bravo? Yeah.
Is it Rio Bravo? Yeah, I think it's a remake of Rio Bravo.
On it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially that plot of that, like the sort of the plot of that made into that. Yeah.
Like I know Carpenter said like he's more into like sci-fi than horror. Is that true?
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah,
I was gonna say like I remember him saying that.
He was never a big horror fan. In fact, his favorite horror movie was The Thing.
Mm-hmm. And when you watch Halloween, the movies they're watching on TV in Halloween is like
I saw
The Thing and the I can't remember all of them, but they're like sci-fi pictures.
Yeah, they're all mostly sci-fi pictures. Yeah.
Victor Wong and Pat Morita would have been cool.
The Day the Earth Stood Still, was that one of the other ones?
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, like with the big metal robot.
Oh, that would have been great.
On the commentary, he was like bragging about how they were his original VHS copies, which I'm assuming he meant bootlegs, probably, because at that point, I don't think those movies were available on VHS.
Oops.
Yeah, no, seriously though, could you imagine Victor Wong and Pat Morita in a movie? That would have been fucking great.
That would have been great.
Wong might have been up for Mr. Miyagi, but I don't think they ever really considered him.
Yeah, he's like Dan Blackwood mentioned. He basically played Mr. Miyagi in Three Ninjas. So
pretty much,
yeah. But that was a good movie too.
Ish.
But yeah, Tom, you got to get into. I know it's a slow build in the beginning. It's hard to get into. Maybe.
It's definitely.
But it's great.
It's worth like this. Like I said, it's worth like what did it for me was the third act. Like once you get there, it's like okay, this movie is fucking good.
Because it's a great little. It's like it legitimately gets scary. Because like the end of the world and everything, and religion and science, and it's just like.
Whoa. See what happens to me is I'm supposed to be watching like Mando or Boba Fett, and I'll watch like 5 minutes of it, and I'll go, and then I'll put in The Player or Highlander.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do that a lot.
The story of how I watched the Player this week.
No, but like, and like no, because there's a scene, because I know I'm pretty sure Tom didn't get to this part because it's in the third act, but like there's a scene where Dennis Dunn is like trapped in a closet and he's trying to like get out and like bust through a wall. Like that, like the tension in that is insane.
Yeah, it does have a lot of tension built.
It has a lot of tension built, and it's so good. And you start to think that he gets infected at one point, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
it's good as shit. Stuff like that is like. It's so good because like even in John Carpenter's like non-horror movies, he's really good with tension.
Yeah, the man does his stuff for real. Like now you got to see In the Mouth of Madness because that's the third of the Apocalypse trilogy.
I did get that on Blu-ray. I still need to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but I have a lot going on as of now.
I get that a lot too.
Busy guy.
Me too. But that's cool. I'm glad you got that too. You look what we're doing to Runner here, Tom. Look what we're doing.
Yeah, you're making me spend a whole bunch of money.
So good.
Corrupting you.
all of these movies I have, I could be saving for my college fund, but nah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, it's addicting, like we said.
I know. And I'm trying to not get stuff this week, possibly.
See, that's the opposite for me. Is like I haven't bought nothing in a while, so I bought a little bit this week from the Valentine's sale.
Yeah, like
something I ordered last week that was I thought would have been here by now, but it's due here tomorrow. So
no, because what really gets me is like big deals and big sales. It's like fuck, I can't miss this, you know?
Yeah. Hell, Cosmic Squirrel, welcome. Runner college is overrated.
The only reason I'm taking college is because of where I possibly like where I want to be, you know, like career wise. I'm still trying to find what I want to do, and that's sort of the way I gotta go. I thought about taking like trade school, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm in a community college now, so I'm saving up money that way.
Well, there you go, man. But that was a good pick, and I'm glad that you're starting to get into stuff like that. And look, you've seen a whole movie before Tom has seen that whole movie. So
yeah, I'm surprised actually, considering it's from John Carpenter of all people.
Yeah.
And you said that In the Mouth of Madness is not one you've seen yet, Tom. That's the one.
I don't think Tom seen's In the Mouth of Madness either.
Yeah. Because I think the last Carpenter film I watched was Elvis, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, Elvis is a good one. That was actually a TV movie.
Yeah, I know. My dad, who he says he's not like a huge John Carpenter fan. Like he likes some of his movies. Like I know he likes Halloween because he saw that in the theater when he was a kid. He saw. Oh, he says he liked Christine. He actually says it's better than the book.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard it's debatable, but yeah.
He liked Elvis. He told me he saw that. He says he liked Starman. But like then I ask him like, okay, what about like movies like Escape from New York? He's like, I only watched a little bit of it, and it's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, not like Escape from New York. That's literally your kind of movie. And it's like I'll probably give it another chance at some point. And then I asked him like, okay, what about Big Trouble in Little China? And he's like, isn't that movie kind of stupid? And it's like that's the point. And it's good. And then he asked like They Live, and it's like he didn't give that one a chance either.
Runner's gonna have to start teaching his dad like he's been taught.
Yeah, I know. I'm like Dad, like listen, like you grew up in an era I wish I was born in. and like I don't know.
Yeah. Like but that was a good one.
I think I asked him if he saw The Thing, and I think it was the same as some of his other ones. Like, oh, he didn't give it much of a chance. I'm like, The Thing is brilliant. Like, it's a perfect fucking movie. How do you not like it?
Well, a lot of people didn't actually like it when it first came out, so it took a little bit to get to it.
Well, they're all fucking wrong.
Yeah, but I appreciate that, man. It's good. You're gonna have to tell your dad. You're gonna sit down.
Good essays and arguments made as to why The Thing wasn't as received as well when it came out and why it was later on.
Right.
Most of which was we were coming out of an era where the Vietnam War had ended. You know, America kind of wanted to get past like depressing things. I think the fact that E.T. became the biggest movie of the year that year and was about an alien as well kind of proved that people just weren't in the mood for something that depressing, I think, at that point. And like a lot of the things that were popular out of the early 80s kind of showed that. Not all of them, but specifically like, you know, the whole fantasy element. People just wanted to get away. And I think that would kind of just reminded people too much of things they didn't want to get into at that point.
Yeah.
The arguments made by some critics anyway.
Yeah, surprisingly, they kind of make that point in the movie House.
Do they?
Yeah, because like he wants to write about Vietnam, his experience in Vietnam. And
yeah, that aspect of it. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, the aspects of it because and they tell him he's like nobody wants to hear about Vietnam anymore. You have to get rid, So
yes, sci-fi. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say his favorite genre is horror. He'll watch horror, but like he's more into like action and like westerns. Like he's a big western guy, but he fucking hates Tombstone for some fucking reason.
That boggles my mind, man, because Tombstone is like beloved by just about everybody.
Yeah, exactly, because I bought the Blu-ray at one point, which I know isn't the greatest looking thing, but like I mean,
it's the best we got.
Yeah, I agree. It's the best we got, and I hope the 4K is good. Don't fuck that up. But
if they ever make it,
yeah, if they ever make it, because I brought it home at one point, and like I showed my dad like some of the things I got because that's what I do sometimes. I don't do it as much anymore, but when we were in vacation, I saw Tombstone because I bought a shit ton of stuff when we were out of town, and I got Tombstone as one of them, and he's like, "Oh, that movie fucking sucks." I'm like, "What?"
That's nonsense, man.
I'm like, how do you? I see you watch westerns every damn day on cable, and you don't even like fucking Tombstone. Like how?
That's crazy.
Because he explains like, oh, because he knows the story, and he's like, it's the most inaccurate one. I'm like, you gotta understand. Like you gotta understand this is like one of the greatest westerns ever. It has a perfect fucking cast. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer,
Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton.
Yeah, exactly. Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton. Oh God, what's his name?
Michael Biehn. Is it Bean? How do you say his last name? Biehn.
I'm thinking about the guy who played Yondu.
Powers Booth.
Who's the guy that played Yondu in Guardians again?
Oh, Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker, yeah, he was in that too.
More inaccurate than the Postman. That's funny. Runner has no idea what the Postman is, so.
No, I don't know if that's a reference to. Sorry.
But yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go into my pick. I don't think I brought this one once before. I don't think so, but if I did, let me know. But I watched it, and I was wondering if you had a chance to watch this yet too, Tom. Running Time with Bruce Campbell. Do you guys remember if I ever brought this on here?
I don't think you. Maybe
because I know that art is by Gary.
Yeah, the art is by Gary Cassell, Pop Culture Mindfill. Check him out. He's awesome. Him and Keith, great dudes. But I finally got to watch this movie. This movie is really, really damn good. Really good.
I'll have to check it out at some point.
I was surprised. It's got that like 90s independent, like, oh man, you know how you talked about Clerks earlier? It's sort of like in the vein of something great like that. Like the director who Gary knows too, Josh Becker, he was on to something in this movie, Bruce Campbell. It's just like this, it's just a great movie. And Tyrell, yeah, I never heard of it. Just came out by Synapse, I think, last year. Bruce Campbell, he plays this man. He's getting out of prison at the start of the movie, and this was done before the movie, 1917. It's all one continuous take. Well, it's made to be like one continuous take, shot in real time. From the time Bruce Campbell gets out of prison, and him and his friend are planning this heist, and he's basically going to rob the prison he's getting out of. And it's all shot in like real time. And it's very trickery where you can tell where they sort of cut to try to make the cut, but it's all done very smooth. And it's in black and white. Bruce Campbell gives a great performance. I was really surprised how good this movie is. It was just really good movie. It was good.
That's good.
Yeah. It says it's inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. So, yeah. But it was good. If you get a chance to see it, check it out because it's pretty good.
I like it. I like Bruce Campbell. I think Greg and Tom know that.
Yeah.
Along with some other people. Like even when he's in like dumb cameos like Escape from LA.
Yeah.
He makes me fucking laugh as the skin surgeon.
Yeah. But it's like really good in this, and yeah, he plays that smarmy Bruce Campbell. He's the coolest guy in the movie.
I mean, speaking of Bruce Campbell, like it would have been so fucking awesome to see him as Mysterio in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah. But if you like crime heist type movies, it's just like it's like one of those things where like everything is planned to a T, but everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So it's like don't expect it to go smooth sailing, but it's just like was really intriguing, and it was pretty darn good. I enjoyed it. I finally got a chance to watch it, and Gary was right. He said it's a really good movie, and that it's one of Josh Becker's best films, and I agree with that. It's a very underrated Bruce Campbell movie. So check it out if you guys get a chance to. It's worth it.
I'll check it out at some point.
Yeah. So give it a shot. Tom, do you want to go with your fourth and final pick of the night?
Oh, wow. This is weird, me going before everybody else is done.
I know, isn't it?
But this is one I know you were eager to talk about. My final pick of the night is Dead Heat.
Oh, Dead Heat. Yes. I've been meaning to buy that too.
Yes.
Which one is that from again?
This is from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yep.
Oh, Vinegar Syndrome. Okay.
Movie itself is it's all right. It's a bit wackadoo.
Yeah. I was wondering how the 4K transfer is, so you'll help me make up my buying decision.
Oh, typical Vinegar Syndrome looks pretty good. I think it's from the
good.
original negative, if I'm not mistaken. Here it says, yeah, from the original 35 millimeter negative, stereo sound. Yeah, it looked pretty good for my memory of watching it last night. I didn't really get into the special features much, so
Yeah.
but there's a shit ton.
Yeah.
Those are only on the Blu-ray though. Other than that, yeah, I mean the cover is kind of cool. Vinegar Syndrome usually goes out for the covers and
yeah,
all that kind
their
of
slips
stuff.
are amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, you get the Blu-ray and the 4K in here, and yeah, it's a tad pricey, but if you're somebody who's into like comedy horror, it's pretty funny. It wasn't too bad. Like again, it's like maybe a 6 out of 10 ish kind of movie, but
Yeah.
the basics of it is these two like Lethal Weapon style buddy cops stumble upon this company that's like turning people into zombies, and chaos ensues, let's say. I
Yes.
take it you've seen this before, haven't you, Greg? Oh,
Yes.
it's my boy.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen it.
Yo, what's up,
Ords?
Ords?
What's up, man? What's up? Glad to see you in the chat, man.
We should get Ords on this show.
So what's your feeling on the film?
I like the film, but you know me, I like cheesy, bad horror.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's typical.
Yeah,
like,
I'd give it a 6 out of 10, like you said. It's not the best, especially since you got like Vincent Price in it. You got Treat Williams, you got Joe Piscopo, and zombies. You think, but I also know there was a lot of stuff cut out of the film, so I was wondering if they have a lot of deleted scenes.
I don't know how many though. It just does say deleted scenes. Like I said, I didn't really get a chance.
I know Leanna Quigley was cut out of the film. She wasn't supposed to be in it, and she was cut out completely. So I know there was a lot of stuff taken out of the film, and I know like the special effects were the zombies and when they go into that and everything comes alive was nonsense. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'd give it a 6 out. It's not the best, but it's definitely worth it.
It's one of those movies that it has a really interesting concept, and it feels like it's trying to do like a Ghostbusters / Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it kind of like in that type of vein.
Tone, but then they get a little too dark in some areas and a little too gory in others, and I think it steps over. Like this would be a perfect, and I hate saying it like this, but this would be like a perfect remake, but like in a PG-13 arena.
Possibly, yeah.
Like I could see you if you kind of tamed it back a little bit, you could actually have some fun with this concept.
That's what, yeah, you could. Good night, bro, Barth. Thank you for hanging out and all your great questions as always. Appreciate it. Yeah, I agreed that. I mean, like I said, it'd be interesting to see some of those deleted scenes because I think it was actually supposed to be a bit of a different type movie from what I remember.
I'd like to dive into it, but I mean, again, it's a decent film. It feels like a film that was like made more for straight to cable kind of shit than anything. I mean, it was a theatrical release, but it does have a very B movie-esque feel about it. It was made for like a low budget. I think it was like $5 million.
But
it didn't really
like you
make
said,
its money back even, but still.
It was I believe it was a huge flop.
I think so, but like looking at it, I'm not sure if like the company that made it, I think they just strictly put it in theaters just so they could have something to sell to like HBO.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like it borderlines on like comedy, campy, and then it does get really dark.
It does,
in certain spots, and like when they just start blowing people away, it's it's just like.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is it has some moments where it's like you got to keep it either over the top in that Beetlejuice Ghostbusters realm, or you cannot go, or you got to go all balls out trauma type style. And this teeters too much in between. It has too much of the sweetness and the tongue in cheek kind of like Beetlejuice-esque kind of stuff going on while you're trying to mix that with like almost a trauma kind of humor, and it just doesn't meld well.
It's true.
I mean, it's okay. I've seen worse.
Oh yeah,
I've seen much worse.
Definitely seen much worse.
Especially tonally, right? Like a movie that I feel like is a big disappointment because its tone is all over the place is Teeth. Have you ever seen that one?
Is what a Teeth?
Yeah, the one with the girl with the teeth in her vagina.
Oh, yeah. No, I've never seen it, but I've heard about that.
It would be. See, that's exactly. You start laughing. And that's the problem that movie had is it never knew what it wanted to be. If it was going to be a horror film
or a comedy,
or if it was going to be like a comedy, and it kept teetering between the two so much. And then you have this whole aspect of her like luring in guys and all this. It gets like, okay, if you have to be one or the other, you can't tip this too much. There's not too many guys that can handle that balance, right? So this is much more well balanced than something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've heard it about Teeth. This is one of the reasons why I've been hesitant to watch Teeth.
It would be such a great movie if they just would have went straight comedy with it.
Yeah, the premise sounds like, okay, I can see what you could do with this, and then also it's like, I bet they're not going to do that with it.
Yeah, because it does go too dark, and then there's other places where it goes a bit too campy, and it's like, no, you can't do that. Especially when you got a movie that has a lot to do with grape.
Yeah.
Grape jelly, let's say. Or dolphin love.
I like grape jelly.
Don't say that, Runner, not now.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the actual.
I know, but somebody's going to clip that, and that's going to come off the wrong fucking way.
Oh, well, that needs to be clipped. Somebody needs to clip that.
He's been accused of grape jelly, but I like grape jelly. It took a moment.
I plan on picking up Dead Heat. It's been on my. I've actually had it in my cart a couple times and about to hit buy, and then I thought,
let me tell you what about Vinegar
Maybe
Syndrome.
I want to hear about it.
There's a lot of movies that I bought from Vinegar Syndrome where I didn't necessarily like the movie itself, but at least the package. Yeah, of course, Runner would say that. Yeah, exactly.
I fucking love you, Warts. I miss you. We need to talk. We need to talk soon, buddy.
Yeah. But the package.
But yeah, no, they always put together a really great package. So even though it's usually a little bit pricier, especially if you get on their sales, like they're one of the companies that I've really kind of found myself spending way too much on lately.
I know, and they got the Valentine's Day sale coming up too.
Yep, I know.
And they're releasing a new 4K of one of their most requested slashers, which they haven't announced what that is yet. So I'm kind of interested to see what that is.
It better not be one of the ones I just bought.
I don't know. They're releasing it with their peekaboo, stuff, but they're also releasing a new 4K scan of their most requested slasher film. So I'm kind of interested to see what that is.
I probably should have waited to fucking pre-order Drop Dead Fred because watch that go on sale or something.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just cancel my other one and reorder it. Yeah.
They're supposed to have a lot of 50% off stuff, and
I doubt they'll have too many pre-orders like that, except for the one special ones I got.
Yeah. And now's your chance, Runner, to buy all those peekaboo films you go through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get them before they go out of print. There's a lot of them that are already out of print on there.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's some old school classic porn.
Old school. They got Debbie Does Dallas Part 2.
Yes.
Runner has no idea. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Meanwhile, he likes grape jelly, so
yeah. Yeah, and you like grape jelly.
I probably shouldn't have said that. I tried to be fucking.
Yeah.
Like I know I tried to be fucking funny, and then Tom was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that."
It worked perfectly. That's the whole point.
No, I know. And then the more I think about it, I'm like, "Oh fuck, someone's gonna fucking take that the wrong way."
I like this. Do you believe in cheeses? Well, you're going to meet them. But that's a good one. I'm glad to know because I wanted to know a little about it. I mean, it's like you said, it's not the greatest movie. I've always enjoyed the movie, but yeah, it's not the best movie I've ever seen. But it's a fun watch, and I was just curious how
rest assured Vinegar
4K
Syndrome
was.
I've never gotten a bad disc. Like they always do a great job. So, like Blue Underground, they generally do a great job. So,
yeah. I need to get some Blue Underground stuff, man. They
haven't answered me back about that soundtrack snafu though on Toolbox Murders.
Oh man, yeah. Usually you get a minor thing,
but
yeah. But I've been meaning to pick up, start filling out my Blue Underground. But their Blu-rays can be a bit expensive. The 4Ks can be a little bit on the pricey side. But the Demons is a really great deal. I really want to get that one. Demons 1 and 2.
I was happy I grabbed that one when I did because I think I got that one for a pretty good price.
Yeah, you got it like around Christmas time, so you got a real good deal on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those are on Amazon, so at least they're not. You don't have to generally go through the website so much.
Yeah,
because Amazon's kind of picky and choosy with the Vinegar titles. Usually, it seems like.
Yeah. And they never give you the slip ever. So.
Yeah, that's the other problem. I don't like it.
Yeah, so that's why I don't like buying
And
vinegar.
at least when you go through vinegar, they'll tell you if you're getting a slip or not.
So. Yeah, because you can choose the option right there, and they'll say, if you choose it, and they'll say, nope, the slip's gone.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah. So thanks, Tom. Now I know if I need to. Now I know I will be picking that up. All right, Runner, your final pick of the night. What do you got?
Okay, so I know Greg and Tom know about the story that I've had. So this is how it went. About a month and a half ago.
It was Philadelphia. I was born and raised.
Yeah, very funny. I did a little shopping on Amazon for physical media, and one of the things I ordered was George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead on 4K. And it was $40, okay?
Which you would have been getting that for a steal.
I know. I was like, you know what? This seems like a pretty decent price. And I was like, I really wanted it. I was kind of excited. So then the package comes, right? Well, much later, because I'm not sure exactly where it was from. I think it was from England.
Wish?
No, not Wish. No, somewhere around England, I think, because that's what like the user name was or some shit. So then I opened the damn package, and this is what I fucking get.
The Babadook. I don't like that movie. That's a shitty movie.
Somebody fuck your ass.
Yes,
I have not seen this movie, and because Greg says it sucks, I'm probably never gonna watch it or check it out. Just mainly because of this alone. So here's the thing. I was super pissed when this was the result I got.
I would be too.
I never opened it because I'm like, I'm gonna return this at some point. So I got in contact with the person. They reached back to me and they asked, like, okay, can you send a photo of what you got? So I took a picture of this and I said, okay, like, I want what I ordered. So we're still trying to work it out and stuff. So yeah, I know. Like, I bought Dawn of the Dead, and this is what I fucking get. And I looked this movie up, and I'm like, this movie came out in 2014.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know a lot of people do like that, but I do not like that movie. It is not a good movie.
How do you? I'm sorry. I know I already got a hold of this person. They got a hold of me back and all that. That's great. But how do you fuck this up? How do you fuck this up? Like you can tell what the Dawn of the Dead poster looks like the original one.
Right.
It looks nothing like this.
Either that guy mislabeled it, or he just was looking to scam somebody. Because I have never seen the Dawn of the Dead 4K for $40 ever. So,
yeah, I know it's rare, but like I thought it was pretty worth it. I'm like, I want to get this I wanted to get it on 4K because why not? Because I think it comes with like the extended stuff there too. But like, yeah, I ain't opening that thing. I gotta return it and get what I want.
I would bet you'll probably end up getting your money back.
Fuck, man. If that's what it comes down to,
just keep on them, or if they don't really help you out, get a hold of Amazon customer service again.
Yeah, I'll probably do that then. They did message me. They're like, I'm not sure if they're gonna give me a refund or actually gonna give me the damn thing. I want the damn thing.
I really hope you would get it, because if you could get that for $40, that would be a great deal. But I'm telling you, man, I can't see that I can't see that happening. You're at least going to have to get your money back.
I mean, if I get my money back, that's fine. It's kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, and the Babadook, not a fan. Not a fan. I know some people like it. A lot of people like it, but I'm just not a fan.
Really? A lot of people like it?
I would say certain people.
No. Has Tom seen it?
Have you seen the Babadook, Tom?
Nope.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't like it either.
The Babadook is most famous for getting shipped with It.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe it's.
Remember when gay people freaked the fuck out over It Chapter 2?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
They're like, he was an ally. Why did he do such a thing? Like, why did you go and make it look like gay people don't read books?
They must have never read the beginning of It before.
Evidently, you haven't read a book that's been around for 40 fucking years.
And that's the Babadook is actually LGBT friendly movie. So
and newsflash, it is like a fucking alien.
He kills everybody. He doesn't matter what you are.
It's okay that he kills kids. That's all right. But the line must be drawn at gay people. He's not an ally. Do you see how crazy you sound now?
I think they missed the point of it too, as well. So.
Completely. And in fact, that movie is much more tamer than the book.
Exactly. If they would actually did
that first few pages of that, because that actually starts the book off. If you're actually going in chronological order of the book, that scene is the first shit that happens in the book, from my memory. And that shit is like, you're like, holy fuck. Right off the bat, they got every little slur you can think of for a gay person. And the gay people are like completely treated like stereotypes. That part's true. So why aren't they going after Stephen King for this shit?
Exactly. Because it is really bad in the book.
It is. And then they are just horrible to this kid. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, like Night Owl said, like she says, super overrated. Babadook, no good. Exactly. And I believe Pennywise is actually a female, the alien.
That's the other thing, yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, Shout Factory did do that.
Okay, this is my understanding of the situation. There's a character that's in the book that is never presented in either movie, and it's called Turtle.
Yeah, the turtle.
And the turtle is basically supposed to be the good version of It. So if we go by what the turtle is supposed to be, that's basically what It is supposed to be. Like, but the difference is like the turtle is the absence of all life, and It is supposed to come from the place of like the absence of life. Like, it's a really kind of like
it gets very spacey.
Yeah, it all ties into the Dark Tower and all this other business, and it's like there is a little Stephen King universe he's got going on, and It is a part of it. It shows up in other places too, but
yeah, so does the turtle.
Which is one of my biggest disappointments of the movie, the new movie. It's like, why didn't you get Turtle involved?
Which one? Part 1 or 2?
Both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Just in general, like, it's like, okay, now you have the opportunity. This is a big budget motion picture, and you completely negated that character again. Like, obviously, there's reasons why you can't do all that shit in the TV movie. Which, in the end, it's still sad. I'm sad to say that the TV movie is still the superior version.
It is. I really enjoyed the first It movie, but yes, the TV version is superior.
I did. I mean, I haven't seen the TV version. I like the first chapter a lot. I remember seeing that in the theater. I think that might be the first.
My problem with here's my main thing. Like, I didn't hate
the second. I didn't like the second one.
Actually, the sad thing is I actually like the second part better.
See, I love the first one, but I did not like the second one. I thought it was way too many flashbacks.
Well, here's my thing.
That was
like the ending of the second one better. I like it better than the miniseries, but otherwise the miniseries to me is superior in every way, because the problem you have, at least this is something I noticed while watching it, there's a ton of shit that is not set up that pays off, that unless you know what it's about, because you've either seen the miniseries or read the book, you are completely fucking lost. Or you don't get the whole concept of it. Perfect example is the blood in the bathroom. They do not do a good job of setting that up at all in the fucking new movie. It is completely overlooked, but yet they have the payoff.
Yeah,
it's like you cannot have that payoff unless you set it up that she has tried to clean this blood up, not once, but God knows how many fucking times. Because that's the whole point, is she'll clean it up, and as soon as she cleans it up, it's right back
again. Yeah.
And it isn't until they all clean it up together that it disappears, and then she figures out that's the key. It's because we were together. And that's what it is trying to do, is split us up and make us weak. And that is a linchpin of the fucking story. And they fuck that up royally in the movie. And they have so much of that. It's like they're almost desperately trying to avoid to do the same shit as the miniseries. And in the process of you're losing major plot points.
I agree with that.
Need to be there. And again, like I'm curious, somebody like now I told you that, Runner. But had you not known that before, I'm curious if you even picked that much shit up from that whole bit, because none of that shit is really expressed well, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Okay. They do the whole big blood thing in the second one, and it's not even like barely mentioned in the first one at all.
I honestly don't remember it very much, just because, I mean, like I said, I like the first one. I thought it was really good.
Well, I think they actually did Beverly dirty in the fucking new movie, really, because they take her completely out of the equation in the end of the second part. Yeah. She's just up in the deadlights.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember like the one,
or whatever you call them.
I remember like
yeah, you're right, the deadlights.
Remember that scene where Pennywise like jumps out of the projector?
Yeah.
For like a second. That fucking scared the shit out of me.
That was one of the cooler bits where they upgraded and updated the idea. Like there was, like, don't get me wrong, there's some cool shit in there.
I'm not, but no, it's fun. It's funny as hell, because like I think I forgot when I saw it, but I was with like a few of my friends, and like when I was like jump scared, I was like, ah, in the theater. Literally, and then my friend got fucking scared only because I freaked out.
The other problem I have is just Skarsgård got a nut hair on Tim Curry. Like, Tim Curry owned that role. And he couldn't even do it with an R rating, and he scared the shit out of me as a kid.
I'll have to check out the TV one. But
the TV movie's good.
And when I talked to the director, Tommy Lee Wallace, who also directed Halloween 3, mind you, I told him, I'm like, because he hadn't watched it. I'm like, have you seen the new one yet? He's like, no, I got it, but I haven't seen it yet. And I said, well, I like yours better. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, that's surprising considering all the stuff they can do now and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, they make one big mistake. And he goes, what's that? I said, well, they didn't film them back to back. Well, that's stupid.
Yeah. They should have really filmed them back to back.
He goes, that's just dumb. He goes, I had to do all the kids stuff up front, because otherwise, and that's the last thing I needed, is to come into work on a Monday, and on a Friday the kid was 4'2" and they come in and they're 5'6".
Yeah. And then like the CGI de-aging and all some of them kids in the second one.
That in the second movie. I'm like,
I was like, you really should have just filmed all that before.
Film all this shit at the same time.
Dude, It Chapter 2 is 2 hours and 49 minutes.
And the other thing is they split the shit up. That was the whole reason why it worked in the other movie, is seeing the adult versions flip-flop back and forth like it is in the book.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit more of a perspective, and it helps with that second part, right? Like the way they do it in this one, and then, yeah, they have to go back to these flashbacks, and there's just, don't get me wrong, it's a very well done updated version of it. Like I sound like I'm hating on it so much, but like it's pretty sad when a 1990s TV version of it is better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When it hit most of the main story beats much better.
No, because like I saw It Chapter 2 with like a bunch of friends.
Like more I will say the end of It Chapter 2 is better than the TV version, because the end of It Chapter 2 and the TV version is like they just didn't have the money to do any of that shit.
Like,
yeah, they couldn't do none of the big stuff.
Because for It Chapter 2, we walked out like everyone, including me, walked out like really disappointed, and like our biggest complaint was the flashbacks. Like it's like,
me, I actually like the ending better because it made more sense, at least along the lines of how it works.
They
diminutized him, kind of thing. I liked that.
My biggest gripe is like it did not have to be that fucking long.
Oh no. Well,
that was
again. Dumb. I think they would have. I swear, if they would have just shot them back to back together, at the same time and still release them as 2 separate movies if that's what they wanted to do. Shit, they actually should have just done a trilogy.
Yeah.
And then they could have had more time to deal with it and shoot all the kids shit first, then shoot the adult stuff, then edit it all together and put it out. Like, and then you can
and then you wouldn't have had to have gone back and shot flashback after flashback after flashback, which you could have just had in the first movie.
Yeah.
Well, and you could have at least weaved it better, right? Like, you
could have did like
that shit out of the way so that you ain't gonna have to worry about the kids shooting up overnight. And then you go do the adult stuff, and then you sit down and you, like you said, you split it up into 3 fucking movies. Hell, actually, a mini series would have been better because it is fucking huge. It is one of Stephen King's biggest books.
Yep.
And granted, there is a bunch of shit you can leave out, but to me, leaving out Turtle both times is one of the biggest problems because he's one of the reasons the kids are able to survive.
I know, and they needed that, and I do remember the director saying that he didn't like the 90s miniseries. So I think he did say he went out of his way to try to avoid some of what went on in that. So,
which is stupid because those are major plot points.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can't have payoffs without setup, and that's not the only one. There's a couple of them in there because I noticed it throughout the movie because I kept going, wait a minute. I'm like, if you don't know this, then how do you make sense of that?
Yeah.
Or how do you get the full effect of what's going on here, right? Like, it just, I just felt they did a very poor job of setting it all.
And I do remember this, like the Bat says, where there's supposed to be a version where they combined both movies. I do believe there was some talk after the second one came out and it got some of the criticism. I think there was some talk about combining them into one big movie, like it should have been, or like the miniseries or whatever.
If they have those scenes that belong in there, sure, I'd love to see an elongated complete cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even an HBO miniseries of it, edited, fleshed out.
Release the extended cut.
Yeah. Release it cut.
Release it cut.
They're like, what the fuck are these kids talking about?
Hashtag it out there. Hash brown it out to the internet.
Send it. It's funny you said that. Did you see the shirt I was wearing?
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that earlier.
That's fucking awesome.
Quit.
I want that so bad.
I just unplugged my headphones.
But yes, I agree. And now that I guess we'll move on to my final pick of the night. It's a newer horror comedy. I don't know if you guys may have seen this movie or not, but it's called Freaks of Nature.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
It's about zombies, vampires, and humans living together in a comedy.
that sounds very weird the way you say it.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. It's got Dennis Leary. Where I keep putting it. It's got Dennis Leary. It's got Vanessa. 2000 and.
Oh, okay, so it's a newer one.
Yes, newer one. It's like, I don't know, 2015.
Okay.
It was. Yeah, 2015. But it's actually pretty funny. Kind of like comedy horror ripoff type movie that I think. I don't think a lot of people actually know about this movie.
No, I never heard of it.
I probably will do a review on my channel here soon, sometime down the line. But it's pretty funny. It's so like the premise of the movie is the vampires are the top of the food chain. They like run everything, and then humans are the second, and then the zombies are the lower level. It's like a class type thing, and it's done pretty funny. And then so like aliens show up. And it starts taking them, and it's just like this weird hodgepodge of like all these like aliens, B movies, vampires, zombies, humans fighting, and it's just hilarious. It's got a funny cast to it. It's got Bob Odenkirk in it. It's got Dennis Leary. It's got the other guy from Key and Peele, not the one that makes movies. What's his name? Key. Key's in it. I'm trying to remember everybody because it's got like a pretty cool, decent cast. And it's executive produced by Jonah Hill. So, it's pretty funny. It's got some moments in it. And, if you like kind of like cheesy B horror comedy movies, it's right up your alley. I'll do a review of it here on my channel one time and let you guys know about it. But yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that Sunset movie a little bit or whatever.
What Sunset movie?
Or what is it?
Oh, yeah. Sundown. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Yeah, sort of is.
Which we all figured out was kind of a ripoff of Howling.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Freaks of Nature. And X6 sort of plays out like maybe it was meant to be a TV series.
Ah, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
It kind of sounds almost like, well, then you said like Odenkirk and a few of these other guys. I'm like, I wonder if it was like one of those like meant to be like a Sharktopus kind of movie for.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely done like cinematic movie style, but it feels like maybe that they were kind of going to use this movie as a jumping off point for a TV series. But it's pretty funny. It's got its moments, and it's Bob Odenkirk and the Cusack, Joan Cusack plays the main kids, mom and dad, and their stoners.
John Cusack or
and Cusack, his sister.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and Bob Odenkirk plays the main kid's parents, and they're stoners, and they don't know why his kid won't.
Cusack, yeah.
Like when they go to his kid's room and they think he's finally discovered weed, and they're so happy, but he's not. He's hiding a vampire chick and a zombie and stuff.
Oh,
so it's funny. It's good. It's good. And then, oh my god, the guy, dude Key. He goes off on like a tangent on the fucking kids and how he wants to kill them and shit because he's a teacher. It's like, oh, you got to see it, man. I can't explain it. It's freaking hilarious.
Pre-woke period, so it's got to be.
Yeah, it is definitely pre-woke. I mean, like there's sex jokes, there's all that stuff, you know. So it's definitely pre-woke. And Patton Oswalt's in it though. It was before he went woke, so
there was a time when he was cool.
Yeah, there was a time. I mean, he's only in it for a bit, and like they break into like when aliens show up, they break into his house and looking for refugees in a refugee in his basement, and it's just him and his mom and like the girl there. They're like, "What if we're the last ones left alive? I guess we're going to have to mate with her or whatever." And then like. The zombie and the vampire chick eat them. It's like they're still another part in the movie.
Christ.
So yeah, that was not like a spoiler or anything. He's like in it for like 5 minutes.
Right.
So, but I would say you might like it. You might like it, Tom.
I might. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the type of humor, but yeah.
It's it's got a pretty. I mean, I'll tell you what's his name? Oh, what is his name? He's a director. He's weird. Oh my god, what is his name? He did the Penguin movie.
Who did the what?
He's foreign. Oh my god, what is his name?
He did what movie?
It's a Penguin documentary.
Oh.
He does documentaries and stuff. I can't think of his name. He's got that German accent. Son of a bitch, I can't think of his name. But he's like this like really artsy fartsy German director. He does like documentaries and he plays the voice of the alien. It's just freaking hilarious.
Not
he's
Werner
like
Herzog, is it?
Yeah, Werner Herzog. That's it. That's
really?
who it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
Werner
I
Herzog.
would have said the guy who remade fucking Nosferatu, then I would have known.
Yes, Nosferatu. I couldn't
think
of it.
The Mandalorian, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, damn it. That's it. I could not think of it. Yes, Werner Herzog. Yeah, he plays the voice of the alien, and he's like, he starts quoting Billy Joel to him. He's like, "We didn't start the fire.
What's the name of this movie again?
Freaks of Nature."
Freaks of Nature. All right.
And he's like, "We didn't start the fire. It's it was always burning." And he's like quoting, like trying to say like they come in peace. And then they're all standing there. He's like, "Who the fuck are you to tell us how we should live our lives?" It's nonsense. It's definitely pre-woke. So you guys, I think you would like it.
You would fuck up an alien invasion.
Exactly. Because like, and also like the McDonald's McRib, like the claim to fame in this town is the McRiblet, which Dennis Leary runs the factory that makes the McRiblet.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so like that's like he's like the rich guy in town. So it's pretty funny. I'd give it a watch if you like that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I was going to say I might have to tell Andre about that because he really likes Werner Herzog. So yeah.
Yeah, Werner. It's like it's when the aliens speak, and that's when he was like, "That's freaking Werner Herzog doing the voice of the alien." But it's good. Yeah, so there's my little spiel for the night. If you haven't seen it, I definitely think it would be up Runner's alley. And Tom, you might like it.
Yeah, I might check it out. Like I said, I'm thinking about checking it out and maybe telling Andre about it.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much shit that you've been like recommending. You know, Greg. Here's what you got. Here's what I want you. Here's what I want you to do. Write me a full ass list of movies I need to watch. That you think I need to watch, and I'll check out the ones I've already seen. Just
see, my list would probably be a lot of cheesy horror sci-fi action flicks.
That's fine. I trust you. Listen to me, okay?
And Tom's got the skills for like the good movies.
Yeah, I know. Like in terms of like movie recommendations, I trust you and Tom like mostly. If it's someone like Angela Straven, I can't trust him. I'm sorry.
What's like he's recommended to you?
Okay, like most of the shit he recommends to me is vampire movies.
Well, he likes vampires.
I know, but like I watched like one of the things he recommended was that one with Brad Pitt. What's it called?
Oh yeah, you've talked about that Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, I don't fucking like that movie. Like I don't understand why people like it. I mean, I can understand women liking it because it has Brad Pitt and Antonio Banderas. That's understandable. I don't. I just it's fucking boring as shit.
Happens.
He did recommend what is it John Carpenter's Vampires, and I told him like, okay, I'll give that a chance because it's John fucking Carpenter.
And that is a good movie.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. James Woods, I like James Wood, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you guys got anything else to say or you want to promote, let me put it in the chat and we'll get ready to close it down.
Safe sex and washing your hands, I guess.
Yeah.
Promote that.
I mean, it is Valentine's Day. You don't want to end up
oh yeah, that's coming up, ain't it?
With any extra babies. So
yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah. Like I said, when you don't have nobody to buy for on that side of the end, I get me some physical media. So, yes, thank you, the Trash Stash. I hope you like. I hope you stick around at the channel and enjoy the content.
Yeah, don't let me drive you off.
Tom, you're the one that drives them in.
I don't know about that. Insane, maybe.
Insane. He's Shelley Duvall us.
My prices are insane.
Is that Zoidberg?
Lord. Ords, I love you. You need to come on this show, man.
Yeah, Ords. I'm sure you got a good collection of movies. Bring them on, man. We'll get you on.
Be great to have Ords on.
Yes, sir. All right.
We should do a special stoner movie night.
Yeah, bring a bunch of Cheech and Chong and stuff. And what's that movie with Dave Chappelle?
Half Baked.
Half Baked. I love that movie. Fuck you, you're cool, and I'm out. And on that note,
how you doing? Bitches leave.